We're only 3 minutes late. That's probably fine, and we'll give people a minute to show up. I feel like people are gonna want to watch this one.
Yeah.
Do we still title it subs versus dubs to trick people?
No. We're not gonna trick people.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what the next one.
What are we? Republicans? Dab.
Got him.
Whoa, we're getting political already? We're not even a minute in. Seriously though, has anybody noticed all of these people like running as progressive Democrats and then immediately switching parties? That's terrifying.
My mom has been bringing that up, and in all honesty, it's getting to the point where it's like, why are... I don't want to be an extremist, but why are we even obeying these laws if these people aren't?
Hey, let's be careful not to break YouTube's terms of service.
I didn't know you went live. That's why I said I don't want to be an extremist.
There are certain laws that should be obeyed much more than we are obeying them at the moment.
Anyway, the moral of this stream is that anarchism is not a good idea, but perhaps
if you would like to
anarchism.
Read some Henry David Thoreau, maybe. If I were a politician, I'd run as a right-leaning centrist, and then the moment I was elected, I would become a hard leftist. See, that wouldn't work, because you wouldn't get funding.
Not to mention, even if you did somehow get elected, the minute you get thrown in council, unlike the Democrats, the Republicans would immediately kick you out.
They sure would.
I mean, they've already kicked out people who were elected fairly.
No, yeah, the
just
reason
because they were
Republicans
transgender
get away with it is because Democratic Party just doesn't do anything.
As we all learned on Sk8 the Infinity.
Yes. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Sk8 the Infinity.
What is up, my bitches and bros and non-binary hoes?
It's funny that we're talking about American politics when this happens to have the main antagonist as a very, very high-end Japanese businessman.
It's true.
Who's also running for politics.
I don't think he is a businessman. I think he's a politician.
Yeah, he's a politician.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was like they make it.
No,
sound
he's a
like
politician.
they make it sound like he's a businessman.
He's a legacy politician. Politics is his family business.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a politician for the Environmentalist Party. Funny enough.
Which is also ironic because that. Well, no, it doesn't tie on as much, but that's also why I made the Agretzko joke further in the further back.
Oh
in the
yeah,
messages.
fair enough.
I mean, also he was like it makes sense that he is environmentalist. He is recycling an old mine.
Yeah, like he shut down that whole mine
and repurposed it for
and
something
you know what's green transportation? Skateboarding, except for Cherry.
I never understood that.
Cherry skateboard isn't electric. It just has a robot in it.
From what I've seen, the blue one and the red one are gay and kiss. You're thinking of the pink one and the green one. Wait,
Yeah,
which blue one?
Oh god.
I'm pretty sure they mean Longa.
I also think they mean Longa, but that's not right.
That's just a bunch of fan art.
That is what season 2 will be.
The pale blue one. No, there's no kissing involved.
No, though they do.
There is a lot of fan art of that, though.
This is the definition of like a Yuri on Ice, but straight for skateboarding.
It's not straight, and it's not like Yuri on Ice. It's very queerbaity, but not in like an offensive way.
It's queerbaity in the way of we would make these people kiss if we were allowed to.
I'm not sure they would. I think that like the teasing and is part of the point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fair.
No, it's part of the appeal. You just lead the viewers on. You're like, yeah, you want to write fanfic, don't you?
We should probably get into the show now.
I will say real fast, this
Yuri
was
on
written
Concrete.
by the same. This was written by the same person that wrote Free, and if you've ever seen Free,
okay.
As far as I know, that's like.
I haven't seen Free, but all of my queer friends have at some point in their lives been super into Free.
If you've at least seen 50% off, you know the gay chicken joke, and that is very much a theme in Free from what I've seen.
Mm-hmm. No, they always complain about the dub. Like, hey, what's up, bro? You want to go swimming, my friend?
Which works
my
better
heterosexual life partner.
Yeah, I think that's what Achilles said to Patroclus too.
Okay.
Wouldn't-
Are we done?
Alright.
Are we done goofing on this show? Do we want to get into it and goof for real?
Yeah, so we can. I guess we
Sure.
could kind of start with some initial thoughts. So yeah, so we are doing Skate the Infinity, which was honestly probably in the top 10 best anime of, was it 2021?
Sure.
Yeah,
Whatever
it
year
was.
it came out in, I promise you it was in the top 10.
What's
was
funny
2021.
is what's funny to me is I actually started watching it and then I think I randomly dropped it because I forgot what it was called.
Skinfinity. Skinfinity the Infinity.
Yeah.
So, obviously we all, I can say we all loved this show.
Oh
and
yeah,
I
absolutely.
am
we
in
all-
love with this television program.
We all have some very strong feelings. about it
Legitimately
'cause-
might be the first show I ever watched with a healthy depiction of a gay relationship.
Yeah.
I think that says more about you than it does about the show.
Also, a great
There
depiction
is-
of a very unhealthy gay relationship.
There also is not a depiction of a gay relationship. Wink.
It is all subtext, and that is, I think, my favorite.
And we
thing
all know
about
what subtext
Oh,
is an
yeah.
anagram for.
it.
It's butt sex. For those of you who can't rearrange letters in your heads, it's
I
butt
can't.
sex.
No, this 50%. No, Skate the Infinity. What?
Skinfinity.
Were you talking about 50% off? Scream.
Okay, that's maybe better. I'm assuming you were. Well, I know you were much younger when 50% off came out. It came out a long time ago.
Yes. I've rewatched it like 4 times.
I've
And
never
also
seen it.
I've also rewatched this
Never
show
heard of
like 4 times.
It's free abridged.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, no, that's fair
Yes.
enough. I'm sorry I insulted you, clotted scream.
But yeah, so little context behind this show. The first, at least personal context. This is one of my favorites because much like Wotakoi, this show kind of came around when I was in a weird slump. However, this slump it's the first time that I was ever on my own. My parents just moved away. I had moved into my own place, and I was kind of trying to figure everything out.
And you were getting into skateboarding.
No. However, there is a funny anecdote about that. But no, Expoint took a break from streaming this essentially for a while. So we were just meeting every single week, or like they were. This was when I was super busy. This was near the end of the summer. I had a second job that I had lost, and another one that I was able to gain, but had me up really early in the morning. So I wasn't able to join all the time. However, I was able to get in, and one day, Expoint was working on some D&D stuff. Fire King was doing some modeling. Scrub was just kind of here to chill out, and I was able to join in, and they had already started Skate the Infinity. This is also, and it just took off from there. I sat down, I started at episode 7
Mhm.
and was still able to keep up with everything. And the show, no matter where you start the show, is really good. And it's just really fun. And this was a show that, after I watched it with you guys, I immediately went downstairs and started watching it on the big TV. And my former roommate was home, and we started watching it together, and it was a really good time, a lot of good laughs. But yeah, funny anecdote. He had talked about his time longboarding, and I'm like, wow, that sounds really fun. And at the tail end of last year, I ended up getting a longboard, and I've been doing it since.
Nice.
And it was because of this show, honestly. This is, I love a show that I love shows like this that sell in a it's like a Yu-Gi-Oh or something like that, but instead
It's a way of
selling-
life.
instead of selling a specific product, it sells a hobby, the hobby itself, or an idea.
Mhm.
It's what a lot of sports anime do, and this one really does it best by just having it. It makes the sport look like such it's super high energy and stuff like that, but it also just tells you hey, people do all these things for different reasons. And if you're just doing it for like just to kind of have fun, that's okay too. Which is one of those things that I really don't think a lot of sports shows get across. Is it's always like about them being the best and wanting to like win and do this and that. But this is just like, yeah, you could win, but if you just want to do it for fun, yeah, that's okay. No one's going to.
Yeah, I love the moment in one of the last 3 episodes, which I watched this morning. I love the moment when Reki is about to dive off a cliff, and he says, like, I don't know if I can do this, but even if I can't do this, it's going to be hella fun to try. And then he jumps off a fucking cliff on a skateboard.
And he manages to land it. And
Hell
like,
yeah. Because he's a cartoon character.
But at the same time, like, Tony Hawk did shit like that.
Sure.
Like, you can do that and land it, and it will still kind of hurt, and like that kind of crazy energy is what skateboarding is all about.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love it. It's this show is so good. But I'm sorry, I just kind of wanted to set that up a little bit because this is probably my favorite anime. At least like as of right now.
No, I think it's a great pick. I think I rated this a little low when we watched it the first time. Probably because I was half paying attention and half doing D&D stuff.
Yeah.
Even though this time I half paid attention and half painted my super badass wolf dragon.
Which looks great, by the way.
Thank you very much.
You got both halves.
Yeah.
Best of both worlds.
No, I didn't give this show that much of a fair shake. I always knew it was good, but this is like an 8 out of 10 show. Just fantastic stuff. I always knew Adam was incredible, but watching him again just hit my heart in ways. Not those ways, but ways. There are a couple of little things that I missed on the first viewing that just really hammer home that this narrative is so tight and so well thought out. Which we'll get into when we start talking about the show proper. But the characters are so much fun. Like, they're mostly archetypes, but they just go so far into that archetype. And they all have that little edge to them that makes them people instead of just, like, checkboxes.
It falls back on that. You can use stereotypes, but as long as you do it well, it doesn't really matter.
Like, Joe is incredible, and Joe is nothing.
Oh, yeah.
I love Joe so much.
And he is not a man. He has no character at all. But
at the same time, you know, and that's in the same time, you know exactly what he's about. Like, this is the perfect example of a show that can do so much with very little, and it's really good about show don't tell.
Yep. The character designs just on their own are so perfect. Like, you see Joe with his one tattoo and his surfer bod, like his rippling abs and his unkept green hair, and you're like, you see him smile at the camera one time, you're like, I know what this man is. And then in the Hot Spring episode, he says, like, yeah, man, I like to bang foreign chicks, or whatever. And your world gets turned upside down. Like, sorry, what gender did you say?
We all know that, like, he's bisexual and pretends he'll date other people besides Cherry.
I mean, there definitely is some, like, it does seem like we do see at the beginning of the show. So, like, during the beginning monologue by Reki, which, by the way, I fucking love that monologue. It's absolute, like, that whole scene at the beginning during that monologue when they're showing all of the characters slowly and, like, does such a good job of not only revealing, like, their personal motivations and, like, their motivations for skating, but also, like, what it does for them. And just, it's it's a really, really good monologue. And we do see him actually, like, I didn't catch this the first few times I watched it. He was kissing those 2 girls that he was out in, like, the red light district with.
Sure, why not?
Yeah. So, like, he definitely does
one for each ab.
What a rough ride, those abs.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That actually brings me to my thing.
The Real fast, the other thing that this show has based on that, the ADR lines are fucking phenomenal.
Oh yeah. No, this dub got the best possible treatment.
Mm-hmm.
They hired all the best people, including translators and writers and editors, and they said, "You are working on Skinfinity now."
Like,
Damn, I wish I watched
They
the
just
dub
stole them from whatever they were doing and said, "Come do this skateboard show."
well, I want to. I'm not dishing on it, but I do want to bring up, like, I remember there was a controversy about that one line that you kept saying, Expoint.
The bitches and
you
bros
said it-
and non-binary hoes line.
Yeah.
I don't care what it is in Japanese. The American line is better.
It's true.
I'm not
based-
denying that. I just kind of find it funny that there's controversy over something so trivially stupid.
What is
Yeah,
it in Japanese? Jacobian, you watched the dub. Well, you watched the sub, but I guess you don't know where it is in the dub.
Yeah.
When Adam comes out,
Adam doesn't come out. That's the point.
It's when Adam pops out of the like
the
this
stage
fireworks.
on the first day of the tournament.
No,
and,
it's
like-
it's the second, the first day of the tournament, and he gets the preliminaries under the way. In the dub,
Bitches,
he
bros,
says,
non-binary, skate.
Yeah.
Subline.
Did he actually,
He just
he actually
greets
says that in
everyone.
the dub? Yeah, I think he just normally greets everybody.
Yeah.
I just says, "Hey, everybody, welcome to the skate thing."
Really?
I thought you guys were just joshing. I didn't think that's what he
Nope.
actually said.
I actually have a list
Oh my
here,
god.
if you will allow me, because that's what I do every time we have one of these anime discussions. I make a list.
Well, now
Um,
this list
I-
is very appropriate.
I'm gonna need to hear this.
I
more.
There
have
are
a list
so many
of-
one-liners that just make every episode.
Yeah, I have a list specifically of dub lines that make me hyperventilate.
Oh, yeah,
Scrub.
I remember that.
I also tallied the number of people who say these lines, so we will find out who is
We'll
the
go over
most
those-
hyperventilating.
And
We'll go over those
are-
in just
are
a
we
sec. Can I ask this point just a real quick question? What the Clot stream just said? I know we've been saying it a lot, but should we allow it in the text chat?
The Clotted Scream.
Yeah.
That's a great line. I don't see anything.
All right. I just want to be safe with YouTube.
I just don't.
Then
see...
again, we're past the 10-minute mark.
Yeah, I don't see anything they said that would be controversial. There are no hidden messages for me.
Yeah.
No, I meant like how. I believe it's like within the first 10 minutes, if you swear, YouTube demonetizes you.
I
for
don't
some
see them
reason.
swearing.
Okay.
And then real
And I
fast,
also do not care if these streams are monetized. I would make like 30 cents.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
one thing real fast, Scrub, are you okay making that list like we talk about the individual episodes and then you can bring up your list, or did you want to just shotgun them all right now out of context?
Oh,
I mean,
those are
I-
both good ideas.
I would love to
I like the
shotgun them
shotgun
out
idea.
of context right now.
Yeah, let's do that.
Do it.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Alright, so I'll just read them out, no pauses. So, chat, I hope you're ready. I hope you watched the dub, because if you didn't, oh boy, get ready.
If you didn't watch the dub, you're missing out, honestly.
I'm gonna
Watch both versions of this show. They are both equally good.
after this. I'm gonna
For
go
the
watch
record,
dub.
instead of "What is up, my bitches and bros and non-binary hoes," Adam apparently says, "All you fools who love skateboarding."
That's also
Which
pretty
is-
good.
No, that's
Makes
garbage.
him more of a villain.
That is garbage comparatively.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
I-
this is a thing that I have always advocated: is that translators are writers.
Yep.
And
This
that
is
the
true.
job of a translator is not to take the words that the Japanese person says and put them into a dictionary that spits out an English word on the other end. It's to make things flow and to portray character and to make the local audience feel the same thing that the indigenous audience feels.
And this is why I actually appreciate 4Kids on a few levels, but that's a subject for another
Four
day.
Kids had their own motives.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
And
And
if
there
you're
are
gonna bring up
restrictions.
four kids, you have to always admit the One Piece dub is horrible.
but the
Embarrassed.
One Piece dub theme song is incredible.
It is. I will fight anyone who says that the One Piece rap is bad.
Anyway, we should probably
Anyway,
say-
let's
Yeah.
let Scrub speak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scrub,
So,
go ahead.
beginning my list of dub lines that make me hyperventilate. I I want to marry your abs. I'll climb that cherry tree.
Oh,
One
God.
hot cup of Joe, please.
This is all in one scene, by the way. These are all.
This is gonna be a
lines.
long list.
May I
Holy
touch
shit.
you? I've become a river.
Oh my god.
You're cute, but I'm not budging.
Scrub, is
Ready
this just that YouTube compilation of?
Yes.
It is just that YouTube compilation. Okay.
I'm excited to watch it up.
Ready for the Big Bang, baby? You're too close. Fall into my bosom.
You want to skate with me in the Little Red Rocket?
That one time that Longa says K, but like if you close your eyes, you really just hear him say gay.
Oh my god.
The time Adam just shouts, "Oh my god, yes!"
Yep.
Oh my god.
My personal favorite, he's charring his chesticles for locals in heat.
Heat.
Such a thirsty gorilla.
Anytime Cherry and Joe are on screen, you know you're about to laugh.
What do you need to turn a meal into a mouthgasm?
Mantis woman.
I need your musk. I want to rock climb those abs, which is something I feel very on a deep level.
Oh my god.
We'll finally know who the real top is.
Mhm.
Daddy knows you can handle it. I'm falling for you,
Falling
Daddy.
Daddy. I knew that was coming next.
We're both watching the same race, sweetie. Oh, pick me. Oh god, I hope it's me. Only a bronzed pile of muscle can do that.
Oh my god.
Turns out his flesh rock mountain of a body has purpose sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Reki, my love. Of skateboarding. And the one time Snake says K, but if you close your eyes, it really sounds like gay.
Scrub, my love of one-liners, has been exacerbated by you.
Oh my god.
It's true.
My face hurts.
Alright, so here's the result.
What's the tally?
We have one line from Snake,
Mm-hmm.
2 lines from Longa and Joe,
Mm-hmm.
4 lines from Cherry.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, Reki, Shadow, and Mia scored 0.
Yeah.
No!
Oh, what? You don't like
No!
every time Mia calls Reki a slime? You were laughing at that literally. You laughed at every gamer reference every single time when we were watching the few episodes that we did together.
I highly disagree. The background cast has 6. The
Yep.
background, yeah, and if we
They-
ignore the background cast, Adam literally ties with everyone else put together
Yeah.
at 9.
Yep.
Mm.
Oh my god.
Yeah. No. This show.
Adam is one
like,
of the best characters in anything.
This dub
Oh my God.
had so many good ADR lines. And I would like to say, so like Adam is definitely like one of the best characters in anything. And I would like to say, so for those that watched the dub, Adam was played by the guy that played Dio, which definitely added a lot of
tracks, yeah.
very fun
Oh.
energy. However,
My god.
I would like to say I really liked Adam's dub actor David Wald. I know him because he does one of the characters in the Food Wars dub that I end up watching every once in a while. Because why not?
Which one?
Just season 1.
Which character?
Oh, he's not a main character. He's one of the graduate chefs that you meet during the training camp and shows up every once in a while. He's the blonde guy that also kind of hits on Megami along with like
I think
3
I
of
know
the
who
other.
you're talking about.
Yeah. He's he was the same year as Kojiro. But I love every character that he performs is he adds just this incredible amount of foppish energy that just makes everything that he says a treat. He's great at like these really over the top screams. He's Nendo in The Disastrous Life of Psychic K. I have never seen Psychic K, so that guy.
That's who he is in Psychic K?
Oh, I love
that's
Nendo.
who he is in Food Wars. I don't know. I don't know
can't stand Psyche K.
I unfortunately have not seen Psyche K.
Which one is Sekike again?
It's the one I can't stand.
Oh, good to know.
It's the one on Netflix with the guy who has the pink hair and I think like teal glasses and these.
Oh yeah, Netflix
antenna coming out
destroyed
of
the
his,
dub on that.
Coming out of his head.
It's a poor man's Mob Psycho.
Okay, yeah.
Anyway.
Oh,
I remember
he's the
now.
guy who looks like a thug, but it's really nice.
It's not a real anime dub unless it shares at least one actor with Ouran High School Host Club. Well, there is one actor who sounds just like Todd Habercorn. Does that count?
But yeah, love his character, and like the whole dub cast they got for the show was amazing, and I love all of them, and I think one of my favorite things is they have two voice actors on here that started off doing like YouTube stuff. It's Howard Wang as Longa. He did a lot of stuff with Team 4-Star when he was first starting his voice acting career. He is Aaron Yeager in AOT Abridged. Taka's Once Destroyed, great project. And then we also have Shadow is Chris Guerrero, who you may know as Benito Maxwell from Hellsing Ultimate Abridged.
I don't know him as that, but good for him.
Oh my god.
So, should we go into the actual show now, or do we have any more thoughts to start on?
We've only been doing the previews for half an hour.
Yeah, we should start with the actual show.
Yeah.
I do want to say, like, obviously near the end of the show, Reki and Longa get a lot of intentional romantic tension.
Mm-hmm.
But if we are going into the show, I'm going to say I don't feel it in the first, like, 6 episodes or so, and I liked that better.
I agree.
They start as friends and then grow to become lovers who do their little gay hand things.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
I'm fine with the boys growing closer and doing their little gay hand things, if that's what they want to do. I just personally thought we don't get enough of these shows where the pretty boys can just be bros. Like,
Yeah.
far be it from me to advocate for more straightness in anime. I just feel like sometimes, why can't the boys just be friends? Why do they have to fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely understand that.
As much as we definitely need healthy depictions of gay relationships, and we do, we also need healthy depictions of straight friendships. There are not enough of those for men.
That aren't like
That's like-
aggressively hating each other or
Go through the Yu-Gi-Oh thing where one gets brain controlled and tries to kill the other.
Sure. I hate it when that happens to my friends.
yeah.
Although, like, considering the modern political
Every
environment,
Friday.
it might happen more often than I think it does.
Yeah. But no, we love
Oh, bye, Scream.
like- yeah, bye Scream, have a good one.
Thank you for your insights.
Yeah, no, this show is it's really good about slowly developing the way the characters act towards each other, because it doesn't feel like it, but this show takes place over the course of like half a year.
Mm-hmm.
And so they really show how these people are progressing and like getting closer together and moving further apart. And the relationship thing I noticed didn't really start until they kind of were doing the pseudo breakup thing near the middle of the show. Like,
Don't
that's
know
when
what you got till it's gone.
Yeah. That's
Sorry,
like
I killed
that-
the discussion there. Keep going.
I was burping.
No, speechless. I understand.
Yes, yes. Beautiful performance.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I've been told that many times.
Yeah, it didn't really start until they kind of had to have the pseudo breakup near the second act of the show.
Mm-hmm.
So, and
Anyway,
yeah, sorry, I had a point.
no,
I
you can
need
burp.
to-
It's fine.
Explanation point?
No, yeah, I'm the point man here.
Mhm.
Anyway. Yeah, so I feel like I would have liked the show better if they had not introduced the romantic element between the two leads, but it's a fanfic ship show, so they're never going to do anything with it.
In the when I was watching the sub, although I saw times where there was at least like potential for there to have been like lines or something that indicated any romance, I didn't pick up on any romance at all between the two.
That's very interesting. It would be something if that were purely a dub edition. That would be very interesting from an analytical standpoint.
I have watched both the sub and the dub. Sub not recently, but I can very much say it's not just a dub thing.
All right.
Okay.
There
Well, then I
is
must have just not picked it up.
subtext within the sub.
Well, of course there is. That's
okay.
what makes it a sub.
Is it just a little deeper subtext than the dub kind of?
Yeah, it's very understated in the sub, whereas the dub, I think we all know, it's very more bombastic.
Well, plus you don't get all of the like the tone, the delivery, unless you speak Japanese.
Like it feels like the dub is like poking fun at it more than anything else. Like, am I? Oh, no one else was saying anything, so I assumed that I had lost connection.
No.
Yeah, no, it feels like the dub was like the dub kind of saw that and they're like, okay, let's make this a little bit like they made it a little bit more of a joke than anything else, which it does work, but it's things. Test 1 2. Hello, Expoint, are you there?
Hello.
No, we can't hear you.
Oh God. Oh no.
Oh no.
Try sticking all your microphone cords back in and out and see if that works.
Can they still hear us on stream?
Hello, chat. Can you hear the rest of us? Someone respond.
Yeah, we can hear you. I have the stream up. I can hear you guys.
Okay.
Right.
We can still talk. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, Brian
we don't
figures
need
that
to
out.
continue in text form then. Ignore that message. Do not look at the chat. Except chat. You can look at the chat.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
We can hear you on a worse microphone.
Yeah.
Okay, you might need to turn yourself down a bit.
Yes.
Yes, we are professionals.
Star in a jam jar. The dub has big be gay do crimes energy. Yeah.
It literally does have be gay do crime because the entire premise is that it takes place on an illegal skate ring. That you absolutely know people are selling hard drugs on the side.
And like the entire purpose of S is that they are gambling. Because they are doing these
I forgot about that.
People are betting on the races, the racers themselves are betting, but we should probably actually go into episode analysis instead of so let's
well, I'm willing to go into episode 1. If that's cool with everyone.
Sure.
Yeah, Scrub, you go ahead and start us off.
Should we read the synopsis just in case for people who haven't seen it or something?
I mean, I can do a good synopsis.
Yeah.
All right.
So episode 1 is our introduction to our main character, Reki, who starts us off with, you mentioned this before, Jackson, a very poignant monologue about what happiness is to everyone, and we get to meet all of the main cast besides Longa in this little montage about what does happiness mean to people, and we see them like it either means getting a lot of money, getting into good schools, hooking up with women, quote unquote,
quote unquote.
But each one of these people we also see has a skateboard, and we see Reki, who just says, "My love is skating," and it's so good on multiple levels because one, it tells us Reki values skating more than most people, and also the fact that these people have these things and also love skating. So Reki still hasn't found the thing that makes him happy. He just knows for right now that it's skating. And that's going to be shaken very much in the later episodes.
Oh no. It's fine.
Yeah, it'll work. It'll work for this one.
Yeah. Whoa.
That's a
Sound
little
really
too,
quiet.
Too low.
Yeah,
So
a little too.
That's good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
This
go
works.
down. Go down a little bit more.
Well, down a tiny bit.
Yes.
I mean, you're still very scratchy, but yeah, go for it. Well, I can keep going with the episode discussion.
Yes.
So, in this, we get to see a the fun fact that will be persistent through all of Skate the Infinity. We see the first beef ever, the first skateboard race in this show, and it tells us the most important thing. Reki always fucking loses.
Yep, and that is one of my favorite things about this show. Is that no matter what, like, despite everything that happens, Reki does not win a single race in the entirety of the show.
Yeah. Yes.
And I will, as a little precursor to something real fast, anybody that does watch the dub, the first episode or two has some kind of odd audio balancing issues, because I think the dub started when the pandemic started, so everybody was kind of working off like their quick home laptop setups as opposed to like something a little more professional. That at least happens with Longa, and a few of Reki's lines kind of you hear that are a little staticky. But other than that, it's fine for the rest of the show.
And yeah, there's a little bit after we learn the important thing that Reki always loses. We get introduced to the boy who always wins. His name is Longa. He has 2 brain cells, and none of them are working at the moment.
He's sad. They're frozen because he's sad.
He's my favorite Canadian.
Yeah. So we have boy Elsa here, who is just transferred from Canada. I appreciate all of the Canada things. You like, please believe me, the dub does the best thing with Longa, where they actually have him say sorry, like fucking, like, you know, they say sorry wrong, and he loves poutine, and he's so stupid. I want to knee slam this man in the head. I love him so much.
As a Canadian, I can guarantee that is accurate.
No, I was about to say this. Longa has been given the anime Canadian stamp of approval by Mother's Basement himself. Therefore, we know that he is an official Canadian. Yep.
he has no brain cell. He loves to snowboard. Has been snowboarding for over 15 years. He's 17, by the way. They threw this kid out into the mountains at the age of 2. And yeah, and so he slowly gets into skating because of circumstances surrounding Reki being also a complete idiot with only one working brain cell.
No, Brett. Yeah, it's pretty good. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Honestly, yeah. I'm kind of expecting season 2 to be Reki goes home. Reki goes to Canada with Longa and learns how to snowboard. I'm really hoping that.
I mean, that actually could work too, considering Japan's climate. They could actually have a snowboarding section come up.
The S is for snow.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, Scrub, do you mind if I take it real fast, because you did forget to mention the other character that's important for the rest of the show, the man himself.
Go right ahead.
The greatest character in the world, the toppiest of twinks himself. His name is Shadow, and he is an asshole.
That is a twunk, and you know it.
You've seen him in his
No.
He is a twink.
No, he is not. He's a beefcake.
No. Oh wait, no. He's a bottom twunk. That's what I'm thinking.
No. He's a what's it called? He's a simp through most of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shadow is the straightest man in this entire cast.
100%.
Other than Joe.
No, well, no. Joe's bi. Yeah.
So we have Shadow, who is the I forget what he's called in the dub. Jacobian should be answered to that, but in the I remember seeing it, but I forget what it is off the top of my head. His title. In the dub, he is called the Clown Prince of the S community. He is this guy that dresses up in full.
It looks like a Kiss ripoff.
Yeah, he's full Kiss. He's like if Kiss and the Undertaker did a fusion dance. Full punk rock makeup, and his skating style is he's a very talented skater. However, he also he throws party tricks at people. That is the way that he wins his beef with Reki. Is Reki manages to pull ahead, doing some cool maneuvers, and then Shadow just throws firecrackers at his board and he gets knocked off.
Because this is illegal skating, they're just allowed to get away with anything, and surprisingly, only 2 characters take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Yes. In the sub, he's called the anti-hero of S races.
That's right. He's the anti-hero. I forgot. I think I made a note of that. And
so he absolutely did take his name from Shadow the Hedgehog.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, we do get to see a little bit of that with Adam.
It's cheating.
He asked. We'll get to the scene where he asked Cherry if he plays baseball or not.
But also, Reki, we do see a little bit of Mario Kart shenanigans with Reki, which, to counter Scrub's point earlier, I will say Reki has 3 brain cells because he can build things well.
Yeah.
And the other 2 are spent in his. No, one is spent in his little workshop, and one is just constantly depressed.
Yeah.
And that's the edgy so
Shadow is absolutely playing the heel and loves it, and I love Shadow. Shadow's great,
and he actually has a very fun reason for why he is playing the heel, but we can get into that into a slightly later episode. Shadow's great, and So when you do these S races, so the like we were saying before, the premise is there's an abandoned mine in the middle of Okinawa that all these skaters go to and race down in these like super perilous, like there's like falling rocks and like they're skating on this very hard like dirt earth. It's just like it is. People will definitely die from this, and fuck, where's a man, come on, I had something, damn it.
You want me to take back the wheel?
Yeah, go ahead. I need to let my. Oh wait, I remember. So you're betting when you're doing this super intense race, and the first thing that we see is Reki builds skateboards, and he got his first board just absolutely just like Shadow literally made him light it on fire and just toss it to the ground. It's kind of sad because Shadow's just like a super intense dude. That's where I would go. Like, so Scrub, you can continue with the episode now. I apologize.
Sorry. Just before you continue, I want to mention. Just before we end today, I do want to go over Shadow's wiki or fandom page. Oh, okay.
Well, we don't know enough about.
Well, no. It's so funny. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So it has a bunch of information about like him that's shown to the show, and then it just randomly goes into like since his like actual name is Hiromi, they for some reason use it instead of Shadow. Hiromi would like a surprise proposal. He would not like a grand reception. He would not want Sia kisses every day. He would want to go to a place with lots of flowers for his honeymoon. He loved his spouse with all his heart and never cheat and would be protective at all costs. His spouse would have to handle his two vastly different personalities. Just so many what ifs, and then like, what else is there? Here you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Shadow would go to a flower field for a summer date and protect his date from any bees.
I love that line. I would be protected from any bees if I dated Shadow.
This is why I love fan wikis, because you can literally just write whatever you want.
Yeah.
It's so good.
If there was unexpected rain, he would cover his date from the rain with his big body.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like he did a baseball bat.
Yeah. And after reaching shelter, he would go buy an umbrella.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, there's so many other ones.
Mm-hmm. Which, when we get to that, I do have like an odd question that I realized on this last watch. But we'll get to that when it actually.
Yeah.
I have one more. I have one more. I have two more actually. Shadow probably believed in Santa when he was little, but he probably found the things he wanted hidden in their closet, or saw that there was still a price tag on things, or that things were low quality, so he probably figured out pretty early before loving skating.
I love the probably. No, probably about it. Stop making stuff up.
Yeah. Shadow would probably want board games for Christmas, and maybe also toys. Oh God.
This is absolutely some young girl who's just getting into fan fiction would absolutely absolutely be into DeviantArt if like back in the day.
Most of the fan art I saw at the con were by women.
Yeah,
so that makes sense.
This is a boys' love show, which traditionally the market for boys' love shows is for women.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah. That's totally fair.
I can see that.
There's one more. Okay, here you go. He would have cologne in his bag that probably has a floral smell. since he works with his manager who he likes, and he'd be worried about etiquette. For a date, he would wear a nice white shirt. Shadow would like his manager's casual clothes, different from what she normally wears, and would get excited thinking about it. Shadow would like fast fashion and probably has a brand he likes because of their flower motifs, and would shop at his brand store. Shadow would be okay with a shopping date, but would prefer a flower field or botanical garden date to show off his skills. He
I agree.
Yeah, he does his own laundry and it's floral scented. That's the entire sentence for that part. If someone snapped a picture of him on the street, Shadow would act strangely and make wild poses. I don't understand this.
It depends. Strangely.
It would depend on if he's in makeup or not. What?
Yeah. Oh. Okay. I'm just on the fandom page, and apparently that I just looked at the sources, and that was from the Q&A with I think some I don't know. Yeah.
Seeing something. I remember I looked it up. There was apparently some discourse when there was some people. I don't know if they were from the show, but it was like some people. It was some people that got interviewed at a magazine for talking about Sk8 the Infinity, and I saw something where it's like a weird translation thing because they were talking about something that happens with Adam later on.
Oh my god.
So
I'd go with the first one.
Adam. Speaking of Adam, wait, hold on. You know what? Never mind. This is more important.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so like I said, I don't know if this is a
What? No, you can't just do that to me.
Oh my god. Oh, Shadows too. Oh, if you want, I can read Shadow's everyday schedule.
That man needs a nap.
Does it only have it for? Yeah, let's not.
We have to continue. We're getting distracted.
We're still on halfway through episode 1.
I can agree.
Okay.
I can agree. If these are all facts from the creators, it makes so much sense.
Chat, please, you have to understand. This is how deep the rabbit hole goes. We're just watching a fun show, and yet we just found another new pit to climb down.
And chat, I know you guys are like, I promise we're not reading from anything on the Discord or anything. This is just shit that's on the fan wiki.
This makes me wonder if they made extended lore for oh god, what was that Netflix show the studio that worked on this did?
No rope can reach me
Netflix.
like Tantalus. I am ever closer to getting out of this pit.
Yeah.
They never did anything happy.
Oh no.
Yeah, this is I love what I'm gonna start going onto fandom wikis and just making wild speculations like this.
I love fandom wikis.
So.
Oh my god! Wait.
It was. I've.
Nick, we're just reading highlights from it. We are not getting into the specifics because it's really not important. We're just all. This is just all stuff that we're sitting here laughing about. It's really.
Yeah.
Well, if you look at the chat real fast, you see why I am responding.
This was done by the same studio that did Super Crooks on Netflix, which has none of the undertones like this. Because it was probably commissioned through Netflix, and looking at it, I can see how from the animation thing. But I'm just wondering if they have like their own extended lore like this for some of the characters.
Wait.
Yeah, you're muted in the chat. I guess because OBS is trying to catch the wrong thing.
Oh, okay. I was really confused.
Have we been just fucking with chat this whole time?
You guys missed so much of Expoint just reading off different lines.
Fire King, you said you could hear him.
That was earlier, and it got me confused because
Fire King said he could hear us.
Yeah.
Oh,
it was you guys. That was back when Expoint was gone.
Yeah. Sorry, chat, I've been gaslighting you.
Alright, they should be able to hear me now.
I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry too.
It's working now.
I apologize. I was misreading what people were saying. Expoint was talking this whole time. So
yeah, no.
I was confused.
You should have been able to see that I was talking on my webcam feed. Why did nobody tell me they couldn't hear me?
I have the stream volume off. I'm just looking at chat.
No, not you guys. People in YouTube chat. Why didn't you say anything?
They were. I was just confused what they meant. They were like, could we get the stream to be...
No, I see all that.
Discord chat? Yeah.
But then you all were like, yeah, we can hear Expoint. Yeah, and nobody said anything about it. Anyway, chat, I need you to tell me if my audio's okay. Because I know that these people think it's fine, but if I need to turn it down on your end, I will. Alright, excellent. I love that. Too Technic didn't look at my mouth. Alright.
I think I'm going to...
It's crunchy, but it's alright. Yeah, I'm having to use a subpar microphone. I know how funny that sounds coming from me.
Yeah, I think we should continue. We can't go this deep down the rabbit hole. We need to have focus. We need to take our Adderall.
A bit loud. I'll turn it down just a little bit. That should be better.
Anybody watching the VOD of this is going to be very confused for about 20 minutes.
Well, if they continue... See, I'm surprised we've kept 25 concurrent viewers. Maybe I don't even need to be here.
I think we should change the title of this stream when it goes onto YouTube. The very so scuffed Sk8 the Infinity Club.
Anyway, for the people who couldn't hear me, I was just reading baffling things from Adam's fandom wiki. Like, there are interviews with the creator, we've been talking about it this whole time, but, like, says Adam never believed in Santa because his dad and him never did anything that fun. Like... Then there was one for Mia that I wanted to read, but I forgot what it was. Oh, this is still Adam. Adam just took over the whole wiki.
Adam.
Fuck it, nobody cares.
Are we allowed to just, like, can we just save this for the end? Because I think
we should save this for the end.
If we got time at the end, we'll go back to the wiki.
I'm gonna speed run a bit. The next few episodes don't really have much to them.
Well, they introduce Mia.
Yeah, we'll go over Mia and how important Mia is. The answer, chat, not very. Anyway.
It's true, but Mia's a good first rival, I think.
Oh yeah, so
let's. I think we should at least finish episode 1 so we get the setup. So, do you want me to power through this scrub and then you can kind of?
Yeah, I can take over.
Yeah. All right. So, Reki, red boy, meets Longa, pale blue boy at school. he encounters him outside. We get our first hint of Cherry because Longa's trying to get a job, which is important. Longa's trying to get a job, and Cherry turns him down because
underage.
He won't hire minors
for calligraphy. I guess I don't understand. I don't understand what Cherry quite does, but that's a discussion
He's a calligrapher.
for later.
Calligraphy and IT support.
He's a manual graphic designer.
Yeah, I guess.
Analog graphic design is what he does.
He's an artist.
Sure. And he got rich enough to make his own AI skateboard.
But yeah.
Yes, I'm very confused.
I almost said AI chatboard, which is not right, but is right.
But anyway, Longa meets Reki outside.
Wow, we lost like 50% of our viewers as soon as I came back. I'm just gonna go. You guys can have the channel. You'll probably put out more content anyway.
I don't know how to make content. I don't know
gamer.
what you're talking
I can
about.
do that.
Anyway.
Oh no.
Longa meets Reki outside of there. Reki has a broken arm because Longa's trying to find and since Longa's trying to find a job, he gets offered to help Reki because he can't drive the scooter for the delivery that they're doing. By Oka, who really doesn't matter except for the fact that he owns a fennec fox that hates everybody.
Oka's incredible. He doesn't matter, you're right, but he's fantastic.
But what he does in the story is very nice.
Mm-hmm. Well, he also turns out to be very important near the end of Reki's sad boy hours.
That's what I'm saying, is Oka's a background player for the entire show.
Until he's not.
But yeah, so he meets Oka's like, hey, you can do this job for us. So Longa gets invited to go to S with Reki, and you just kind of learning all these are like the first hints of Longa learning to love, like being very curious about skateboarding, and so that's kind of the episode. And then we get to the end where they're doing a delivery for this random guy who only matters later down the line. Reki works at a skateboard shop, and he's doing a delivery, and he grabs the wrong bag. He grabs the skateboard that Shadow trashed.
I didn't even catch it. I didn't even remember who that guy was. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, but at the same time, it doesn't make sense, and we'll get to that when we get to that.
Okay, I'm confused, but yeah.
So there's a trash skateboard. The dude that is about to race Shadow says he doesn't. Says he won't do it without a good skateboard.
He won't skate on a trash board because it's S.
Yeah. And
he'll die.
And Reki gets really upset at that because he takes a lot of pride in the skateboards he makes.
But he gave him a trashed board. It was set on fire.
Yes. And this does lead to one of my favorite lines where the dude Shadow's gonna make the dude get a tattoo of his girlfriend that says "Little Dumpster Slut."
What?
Yep.
Oh my god, I missed so much.
Yeah, no, the dub is fantastic. I
gotta watch the dub after this.
Shadow says that the winner gets to tattoo whatever they want on the loser, and he's like, you have a tattoo of your girl's name, right? I'm gonna write "Little Dumpster Slut" above it.
Yep. So he refuses.
Would he actually do that?
No.
Yes.
See? We've got a debate going. Like, which Shadow is real? Is Shadow real, or is Hirami real?
He wouldn't ever do that to another woman.
No, Shadow would totally do that because his whole thing is that he puts on a very aggressive persona at...
Mm-hmm.
That's why, like, if he cared that much, he wouldn't have made Reki destroy the board that he knows he cares about.
You know what, that's fair. Okay.
Maybe, but like, destroying a skateboard is one thing.
And
getting a permanent tattoo is another. I don't know. He still would protect me from bees.
It does come into a line later that Shadow says when he's talking about. So him and another character are talking about Adam, and he's like, Shadow's like, I don't like how aggressive he is, and the other character's like, well, this coming from you, and Shadow's like, when I'm talking about breaking things, I mean bones. So, like, he's there to hurt people. He's just not there to, like, kill people.
He's there to be an antagonist, so that, like, he's there to just be a wrestling heel. That is it.
Yes. But so the guy won't race on the board. He says Reki should do it. Reki's like, I can't do it. So, but then
Longa's like, I'll do it. I know how to stand on boards.
He's like, Longa, get me the pliers, and he turns around, and Longa is duct taping his feet to the skateboard, so he doesn't fall off. And it does lead to my other favorite thing, where the race starts, Shadow goes off, Longa's just sitting there not knowing how to push forward because his feet are duct taped, so he just crouches and he pushes with his hands down the stretch.
But Star's in a jam jar, he doesn't say push me this time, that's later.
Yeah. That's
I thought it was here too.
That's episode 2.
Oh god, I need to watch it up.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, and then he just goes on this badass skateboard quest through a mountain.
And this does add to my other favorite part of the show. I love the music in this show.
It's incredible.
The background music is so good.
The final track is so good.
We also didn't talk about the OP at all. And there's not much to say. It's very simple, but it's visually well done.
Yeah.
Songs by Root Alpha. It's a very, very good song. A lot of good imagery. I think we can kind of save a lot of these extra points for the end because I have a little. I want to talk about the music, but I don't want to divulge for right now because if it can be saved for later, we can talk about it another time.
Well, fine.
Only because we're already running late.
Sure.
So
fine. If we're running late, we'll skip episode 2. It doesn't matter.
I mean, fair.
I forget what happens in episode 2. It might be very important.
Not really.
I just typed episode 2 into Google. Sk8 the Infinity.
It's
called
Longa
Awesome for the first time.
Longa races Shadow. He starts out really bad, then picks it up really well. He does the anime face, and suddenly he's really good at skateboarding for the rest of the thing. And he ends up applying. What Cherry points out is a snowboarding technique to the way that he's on the skateboard. And that ends up winning him at the end. And I do like the final line where it's like Shadow is trying to stop him at the finish line by throwing cherry bombs at him. So he does that big jump that snowboarders do where they grip the board and they flip around. I think it's, what do they call it again in the
Cloud 9, was it?
Something rodeo.
Oh.
It's
the retrograde wheelbarrow.
Yeah, so he does that. He flips around, and then everything slows down. The exploding firecrackers become snow, and it's just
he gave Longa his own fireworks show.
And then to Reki, it looks like snow, as well as Adam, who's watching on a bunch of monitors. Yeah.
Oh my god.
So he does that, and the scene changes it to falling snow, and Reki's like, call me crazy, but it definitely did snow in Okinawa with some very good music, and I like imagery like that because he's applying all these very different things, and it's a cool parallel, and then that's the end of the episode.
Yeah.
Is him just win? So like he could have technically not won. He did win, but he could have technically they never actually see him pass the finish line in the episode. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. For episode 2, it's not important at all.
Episode 2. Longa winning the beef against Shadow turns out to be experienced in snowboarding. He gains attention in the S community as the mysterious rookie. Longa wants to feel the tingling sensations that he felt during the beef and decides to learn skating from Reki. Longa is bewildered with the differences from snowboarding, but thanks to Reki, he learns the fun of skating and its infinite possibilities. Episode 3.
Anyway, I can continue from here.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was about to say, episode 2 is where the push me line happens.
Yeah, that's very good.
That's
they
the
hang
most
out at a playground.
Episode 2 is really just the training arc for Longa to actually learn how to skate.
Episode 2 is the entire training arc.
Yes.
Longa becomes one of the best skateboarders of all time immediately after episode 2.
I want to preface this with how dense each episode feels. Like, it is perfectly paced to cram everything that it needs in an episode.
See,
it feels fantastic.
We were talking about this with Wodakoi, about how all of the episodes felt like they were dragging and like nothing important was happening, and that the entire series probably could have been condensed into 2 or 3 episodes and lost nothing. This is the opposite. Not that they needed to, but they could have stretched this out over 2 seasons.
I feel like each episode, I feel like I just spent like an hour watching one episode. Like, I'm checking the clock to see what time it is, but like in a good way.
Yep. No, this is efficient writing. And then it's not like they even get rid of the superfluous stuff that makes the show cool on a rewatch. Like, we'll mention this. I mentioned this earlier, and I guess I'm going to bring it up now. But when Adam is smoking a cigarette again in the first beef against Reki, right?
Reki.
Yeah, in the first beef against Reki, and he says tobacco despises humidity, so I keep it in an airtight case. And then he almost gets beaten by the rain. That's so fucking good.
Oh my gosh, I just made that connection.
I know, right?
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's really good.
That's amazing.
And, but yeah, so the only 2 things about this episode, like, they fill in so much where you just see, like, Longa slowly develop, like, easy skateboarding techniques. They have a whole montage. This is when we learned that the reason Shadow is so aggressive at S is because he's this big burly guy that works at a flower shop and he's in love with his manager. And the way that Chris Herrero does the difference between the voices is one of my favorite things, because when he's Hiromi, just like a very pleasant guy, he essentially has like the little mustache cut at the top of his head. Combed out very nicely, and he talks like this. He talks in like a very
this.
Very like high nasally
I'm
voice.
Shadow.
Yeah,
fear me.
When he's at S, he's like this, super extreme.
I'm the clown prince of S.
Yeah, and like you don't know which voice is the real voice, and that's my favorite thing. Because
he's putting on airs in both cases.
Yes.
He's my favorite edgy edgelord.
Yeah, so that's when we learned about that, and then we have the one that Star brings up is the...
What I find really interesting about Shadow is that he is 24 years old.
Yep.
First off, that's pretty old for a skateboarder.
I am the same age as Shadow.
Yeah,
which I said that on the Discord, and I'm like, I am the same age as Shadow. This is odd.
Okay, Grandpa.
I mean, Joe and Cherry have to be older.
Of course they do, but like, in real life, 24 is pretty old for a skateboarder. I feel like most skateboarders get out of it by that age. That might just be me playing into stereotypes here. I'm not I am clearly not a skateboarder.
A lot of the skateboarders that I've seen are like have gone into it in the 50s. Like Bob Burnquist, Rob Deerdeck. Tony Hawk still skateboards. He doesn't do as many extreme tricks. There is a video of him doing his last like 480 McTwist thing on YouTube, and him like landing it and crying because he decided that was the last time he was going to do that trick. But there are still a lot of like skateboarders that still do it.
Right, but those are like high level professional skateboarders.
Yeah, no.
When it comes to people who go to skate parks just for fun, they tend not to be in their mid 20s and late 30s.
I guess that makes it.
Mid 20s, late 30s, same thing.
Yeah.
We're getting a bit sidetracked.
Anyway, episode 3.
Well, I wanted to bring up the push me thing real fast.
It was hilarious.
Fine.
We did it.
It's a very cute little line, and then Longa almost dies, and that's all I wanted to say.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I didn't get to experience it because I watched sub.
It's a shame.
It's fine. So, episode 3, this is where we get introduced to Mia.
Mia, the 7th grader.
Yeah, the the baby.
He's the prodigy. He's the middle school prodigy.
And candidate for the Japanese national team.
Yeah,
which
can't
is
forget that.
Just an interesting thing to bring up, because when Adam's secretary dog sex toy is talking about skateboarding with Reki, he says there's no future in skateboarding. You don't go pro and get famous. Then what is the national team?
Yeah.
If there are no skateboarding pros who make a living out of it, as baseball stars do, which was the guy's counterpoint, then what is Mia doing?
He's definitely just ignoring that fact and just wants Adam to give up skating because Adam's the only thing that matters to him.
I think it is supposed to be like a yes. There's no like. I think he means like there's no professional. There's no
pro circuit.
There's no like. Really, the only pro circuit that you get is like maybe the because they only just added skating to the Olympics, right?
I don't know.
Or like
I don't know anything about skateboarding.
I do think it's like there's no real skills that you can apply to the real world unless you go into skateboarding.
And with Mia being
but he brought up baseball as a counterpoint. What do you learn in baseball that applies to the real world? Sliding?
So it's like it would just be
hitting your problems away.
But like there's no like real pro circuit for skating, but I think you can still do it on like you can still do like school sports that don't really end up going anywhere that can like at least
that the government sponsors.
No, I was about to say that at least look good on like college. They'll look good on like college on college application. It's like, oh, you were on the national team for skating. That's very impressive. So I think that's the idea. But at the very least, it's like a sport. It's just like a school sport for Mia. Like I think,
but I don't think it is.
Well, like
I mean, it's totally possible that the guy whose name I don't remember, but Adam's butt boy, is just saying like, Reki, you need to stop skating because I don't like what happened to Adam when he kept skating.
And I think it's also, I don't like what Adam is going to do to you if you keep skating.
Sure. He can only do that to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Anyway, I hate every scene that has Mia in it.
Really?
I do not like Mia. But I think Mia is a very good first rival who joins the group. Like, it's a fine archetype.
Let's get into that. So, Mia, it's basically what you think it is. Mia challenges Longa because Adam told him to. Because
experience.
Longa/Snow is the new hotness going on. It's the new coldness going around.
Mm-hmm.
And
like
so,
the fact that he already has a nickname.
Yeah,
no.
and then they
we
race,
holes
and
now, boys.
Longa beats him because Mia is a sourpuss who hates fun. And then Reki says, "Hey, you're a sourpuss who hates fun. Be my best friend." And
like,
Mia
whoa.
said, "I'm going to just emotionally attach myself to you. I hope you don't do anything that could hurt me."
I do like it's very obvious in the writing, but I do like that the reason that Mia is so aggressive against them that we see is like he gets really aggressive anytime he sees them being chummy about skateboarding.
He hates the power of friendship.
Yeah,
because he has no friends.
Because Mia is, you can tell, is the kind of kid that like worked really hard at a sport and the coach really favored and did not care about anybody else. So all of the kids thought it was his fault because they just like, they either weren't able to put the same amount of time into it that he was or something. And he ended up like losing all of his friends because the people that he got into skateboarding with him just ditched him.
Because he got famous.
Yeah.
Yep.
No,
I love...
because he went to Olympics.
Got favored.
I love all of these shows that deal with the fallout of being very good at something.
Yeah.
Especially shonen series. Like, that's something that we've already talked about a little bit, but this show, being a shonen, has a very different feel than Haikyuu.
I will say, this rewatch actually did make me grow more of an appreciation for Mia, actually.
Yeah, I think I just despised Mia the first time I watched it.
The thing is that after this, after the race with Mia, the next scene is just Adam shows up. We meet Adam for the first time. He's extra. He's perfect. He's beautiful. He should go to jail.
He has one of my favorite themes when he shows up, which is just this absolutely foppish waltz of a song.
This very nice Spanish guitar.
The name of the OST is literally "Steps Like a Marionette."
Hilarious.
He shows up and he just says, "Hey Mia, you lost.
You're fucking
GG,
useless.
get wrecked, idiot. Nerd,
I'm never talking
failure.
to you again. I have a new favorite now."
And then Reki's like, "Hey, no, that's BM. Fight me." And
no, he tells him to fight because he's literally saying Mia is useless.
Yeah. And Reki said, "That's BM.
Be a good sport.
Be a good sport." And Adam says,
"No,
I don't want to." Well, actually, now I want to because
Adam
I
says,
want to go on a date with your boyfriend.
Adam literally says, "Why would I fight you?
You're more useless than Mia."
You're boring.
And then Mia's like, "No, he's right. It's fine."
and then Reki's like,
I'm
you,
okay.
I'm gonna do it.
Slowly sees a single tear coming out of Mia's cheek. I'm fine.
No, I only do this for fun now. It's okay.
And so the beef happens between Reki and Adam because Reki's an idiot and challenged literally the most prolific skater, the person who founded S, the person who's never lost a race. And Reki said, "Yeah, I can take him."
And also, as Mia puts it, it is a slime going up against the final boss because Mia's a gamer. So
Did you know that Mia's a gamer? He uses game terms to refer to real people. He's a gamer.
The reason I appreciate Mia so much during this rewatch is just because as the series progresses, he's not really a rival after his first fight. He's just like
a dude.
He's just
around.
Really attached to Reki, and is Reki's like almost like his just emotional conscience.
He's also 12 years old.
Yes, and somehow he's more emotionally stable than Reki is. Well, Reki is a teenager, so that makes sense.
And I mean, Mia puts on the face of being emotionally stable, but he doesn't always come off as that because he still, in a lot of ways, is a bratty kid. Like, he's very bratty.
I have grown to appreciate him. But anyway, I would like to go into episode 4, which is my favorite, because it's how can we brutalize
Reki? Our main character.
You ever wanted to watch the main character die 1/3 of the way through the series?
Oh yeah.
We'll talk about Attack on Titan later.
3-0.
So, basically, episode 4 is just everyone saying, "Hey Reki, you should stop doing this because you're going to get
You're going to get killed by Adam."
Yeah, you're going to absolutely get demolished, destroyed. And Reki said, "That's Cap."
Yeah, he's like, "Don't worry, guys, I got this.
I do like Reki's personality of like he acknowledges that it's kind of a bad idea, but he doesn't want to back down.
It's not like you're wrong, I'm not going to die. It doesn't matter.
This guy needs to be taken down.
Yeah, and someone's got to do it. And here I am, someone.
If I can do it, I will, because like he acknowledges that he already knows that like Mia's being bratty, but like it's very clearly projection.
Yeah, and
So
the race just starts with Adam once again just giving the most amount of BM.
Yeah, it's pretty. So for anyone that doesn't know what Adam looks like, I highly recommend that you look him up.
He looks like Kamina. Just even more clownish.
He looks like Kamina if he was dressed as a matador. Like the dude at like so Cherry and Joe also trying to be anonymous in S. for the most part, they have costumes, but like they're lesser costumes. Adam is just straight up wearing a matador outfit.
And I love also.
And his longboard is a pair of horns attached. Is a longboard with a pair of horns. In the end, is literally a heart because he's the matador of love.
I also love just like both in his costume and outside of it. He's dressing himself as a blood-sucking creature of the night, a politician.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta at least say this for Joe, his alternate outfit is he owns a restaurant. That's what his main business is, and he's a high class restaurant.
Yeah,
but
he's a chef.
Yeah, he's like a high class chef. But what's amazing is like his his skater outfit is him. No mask, no anything, just with his shirt off and his hair tied up into like a tail.
Yep.
And that's his entire outfit.
He's got like a sweater tied around his waist or something.
He usually wears a jacket that ends up hanging half off him anyway, no shirt under it. Because
he's wearing less for Sk8 to hide his identity.
Which, here's the thing, at the same time, like, he doesn't need to totally hide it because, like, when you're a chef, you don't, like, there's less of a weird societal thing. With Adam and Cherry, it makes sense because, like, Cherry's business is very...
perception-based.
Yes,
and Adam's... He has to cultivate this identity as being a very classy and demure gentleman.
Yeah, and,
Adam's a politician.
Yeah, literally, you cannot see him without his mask on because he would get in a lot of heat.
Because and Joe is just, you can't hide that flesh rock mountain of a body, so why bother?
Indeed. You really can't hide it, so it's just like, but like, you know, he is an Italian chef, but it's not necessarily like you see his restaurant, it's not super high class, but so it's like...
Have you been to Japan? That kind of high class is a bit more high class for Japan than it is for America.
Have you been to Japan?
I went to Japan.
You don't see many Italian restaurants in Japan.
I guess that's fair.
When I was in Japan, we didn't really go to anything like that. Heck, even when we went to Denny's, it was nothing like America's Denny's.
Denny's in Japan?
Fair enough.
Yes. Denny's is in Japan.
Oh my god, I have to go.
There's a lot. We can get into that.
It's better than America's Denny's, I will say that.
So they 100%. Serve food from the dumpster out back instead of the kitchen?
Anyway.
I wanted to say that when Reki is talking with Joe and Cherry about Adam, that's one of my favorite scenes in the series. Because they've set up Adam as being this like larger-than-life antagonist who is better at skating than anyone has ever been. He has this bombastic persona that's supposed to be really cool and intimidating. And Reki asks, like, what's up with Adam? I've never met the guy. What's his deal? And Joe says, I don't fucking know, man. He used to be cool. I don't get what his deal is now. Now he's just kind of crazy.
That is a good scene at the ramen shop.
Like, yeah, he used to be legit. Now he wears a bullfighting outfit and fucks his secretary.
He's like, I have no fucking idea what happened. Yeah. So,
I just love how Cherry and Joe don't respect him. Like, again, it just goes counter to this whole, the whole shonen thing. Where the big bad is set up to be this intimidating, larger-than-life presence. Cherry and Joe are like, we used to hang out with him, and then he got weird.
He went to America.
Yeah, he went to America, and then he got weird. It's the same thing that happened to All Might.
Oh no.
So true.
America,
corrupting people
was made.
The race with Adam, Mario Kart on skateboards. I love this
Honestly,
man.
It's so Reki pushes off, and Adam is just sitting at the starting line, waiting for it, smoking a cigarette, and he's talking about like the quality of like cigarettes and the way you need to take care of them, and everybody immediately knows this dude is just shit talking Reki.
Yeah, no, everyone knows as soon as Adam doesn't take off and Reki goes tearing down the field, everyone on the sidelines is like, Adam is going to fucking kill this man.
Yeah, Joe knows what I'm talking about. Don't you, Joey Joe?
So he like smokes a cigarette for like a minute, and then immediately does the most anime thing ever, runs forward, throws his board like a mile in front of him, and then just hops on.
I love how Adam can teleport.
Yeah.
Like,
Adam can teleport and then just like never lose speed no matter what.
Yep.
And so he's tearing down, immediately is up on Reki, and then just starts fucking with him. Literally grabs him and just Adam's strategy for skateboarding is he grabs people and he controls them.
He just throws them around.
They start dancing like the Matador of love.
It's love hug.
Fun thing.
Oh, he doesn't love hug yet.
Fun thing that I learned about Adam doing his little dancing on the board. That's an actual thing that longboarders do, where like you go around and you like do little tricks with the longboard. It's called longboard dancing. It's very fun. So he's doing that. I think the most standout scene is literally they take a corner and he holds Reki to him while they're going up on a slope around a corner, and he puts his hand out, putting Reki's head 2 inches from the ground while they're going at like 30 miles an hour. So,
hey, wouldn't it be cool if I turned your skull into pavement grease?
I could.
And Reki is just, I like that instead of the usual shonen persona of like trying to put on a strong face and stuff like
Reki's
that.
Just screaming.
Reki is like, we actually see Reki sit there in fear that he is going to die.
And wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I would have been screaming from the moment I saw this terrible man.
Oh my god!
Hilarious thing, and Reki like he gets like really like, this is just Adam trying to show that he's better, and so Reki kind of dazes out of it for a bit. He remembers something Longa says, and then he kind of picks his speed back up to his theme song, which I love. Reki's theme song. We'll talk about it at the end.
Reki's theme song is turning off other people's theme songs.
Yep. So he goes forward and he hits. He takes the inside and passes Adam again using a trick that Mia used during his race with Longa, and Reki's been trying to master the whole episode. And so it's like the first point where it's like, yeah, Reki can be like. It kind of tricks you into thinking, like, the show is going to be, like, oh, yeah, like, Longa's super good immediately, but, like, Reki's going to start slowly making his way back up, because he's, like, he can do it, too. He's really cool. And then Adam immediately takes it back and does his special move called the Love Hug, which is literally just turning around and making your opponent freak the fuck out.
Yep. Teleports in front of you.
Indeed.
I will say, they do this a lot, and it is my favorite sports show trope, is using a technique from a previous match to get an edge in the current match. Like, I saw Mia do this in the last skate, or, incredibly, when Reki does the love hug in his second match against Adam.
Oh.
Wait,
yeah,
that
was good.
what do you mean?
Did you not catch it?
He gets a
No,
shit
I
beat out of him.
didn't.
No, in the second beef against Adam in like episode 11, Reki is in front of Adam and he does the love hug. He turns around and embraces Adam on a downhill slope.
And Adam
It doesn't do anything.
He beats the ever-loving shit out of Reki.
Yeah, no, it does nothing. It doesn't achieve anything, and Adam fucking kills him for it.
I guess that is that technically is doing the love hug, but
it's not only is it doing the love hug, it's doing the love hug with a different kind of board.
Yeah. I mean, there's only one board with bullhorns on it.
Yeah.
But
I'm pretty sure. I mean, it's like he's doing it with a street, not a longboard.
Yeah.
When Reki does the love hug, and there's another one where Longa does something Cherry did, or something like that.
No, he does the Casper.
Yes, the Casper slide.
Which, Adam can do a Casper slide on a longboard. As someone who longboards, doing tricks like that is really fucking hard. It's even hard to ollie on a longboard, because the idea of a longboard is they're meant more for racing, and they're meant more for, like, cruising and, like, moving at fast speeds. You're not, like, meant to do a lot of, like, flip tricks and grinds and stuff like that on a longboard.
Well, here's the thing about it, though.
You can, it is just more difficult. However,
Adam's a good racer.
Yeah,
he's a good skateboarder.
Adam has been skateboarding for so long that he's able to pull off a Casper slide, which is a very, very, very difficult trick. Because you are literally turning the board upside down and hopping on top of that. It's an insane trick. And then he does the love hug, which makes Reki freak the hell out.
As it's meant to.
He falls down, manages to get... I'm pretty sure he cracks his skull a little bit on that, because he hits the pavement, and he also breaks his arm, because he hits the wall really hard. And Adam licks the blood off his cheek from when Reki went past him, and says, "Not satisfying." Adam's a vampire, okay? Adam is a vampire.
Adam's a freak.
No, he's horrible.
Oh god, yeah.
One of the worst men.
He's a super
and that's
freak,
saying a lot.
Super freak, he's super freaky.
And that is how the episode ends.
Yeah, he just pounds Reki into the dirt, and that's the end of it.
His next episode...
I like Reki as a punching bag, because this show is about Longa.
Well,
it's
about Reki, but it's also...
Reki might be the main character, but the show is about Longa.
Yeah.
Reki exists as a counterpoint to Longa.
That's kind of the same thing with, like, Fairy Tail, how Lucy is. She's the main character, but it focuses on Natsu.
Or it's like how Haikyuu is about those two girls that are just on the sidelines of all the volleyball games. Hey, you remember those two?
No.
No.
It's okay, neither did the show.
I'm sure they have fulfilling lives. We just talked about episode 4.
Yeah.
So episode 5, Reki suffers heavy injuries. Now Longa must go on a beef against Adam. Reki doesn't want to feel what he has in the past and tells Longa to stop, but Longa's strong determination is unwavering.
Is this the episode where the race happens, or is this another one in between?
This is the one where Reki and Longa go to talk to Cherry and Joe about Adam.
Yes.
And they're like, I don't know what his deal is anymore.
Episode 5 does include the race. It is... Yeah, they go to Joe, and he's like, No, they go to Cherry, and he's like, "So you want to learn about the love hug? Well, I know who I love," and they go over to Joe.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's Cherry's doing like a public thing where he's doing like a big calligraphy thing, and Reki
repent
runs out,
and make
like,
efforts.
Reki comes, and he's being interviewed by the news, and Reki comes out and he's like, "Cherry!" And
Cherry Blossom, I need to talk to you about the secret illegal skateboarding ring that you're a part of.
And the newscaster looks at Cherry and he's like, "Is he talking to you?" And he's like, "No, he's talking to somebody else."
Poor boy needs shade and water.
Yeah, he says Cherry again, and so Cherry gut punches him to get him to shut up and says, "Oh, you poor thing, you must be dehydrated."
Which is a move he learned from Adam.
Oh my god.
I don't like this phrasing at the end of the episode synopsis. Will Longa be able to defeat Adam's impregnable love hug?
That's awful. That's awful.
Oh my god.
I don't feel like much happens in this episode that we haven't already talked about.
This is the first instance where we see the investigator lady.
Sure.
That's investigating.
Adam's a politician and he does shady politician things. It doesn't really matter.
And he's getting investigated by the police.
For perjury.
Yes.
Can you imagine that? Investigating a politician for perjury?
No.
What a country.
Right.
Who fucking does that? You innocent little lambs. I don't think there's anything else we need to talk about in this episode. And isn't episode 6 the hot spring?
Yeah, hey, wouldn't it be funny if we just skipped this and moved over to episode 7?
Well, you don't
Reki's
want to talk
injuries,
about
the
the
group
muck place or the fact that the hot spring is actually
Miyakojima.
based off a real location.
No, I think we should just actually just skip it and...
There was a very funny joke that I made that isn't in the show, where Jerry's like, calls Joe a feckless ape, and I really wanted Joe to say, well, feck me then.
Oh, that would be good.
Yeah. There are a few missed opportunities.
The race with Adam does happen in episode 5.
Yeah.
But then the police
The police bust it, that's it.
Instead of talking about episode 6, we can talk about something more important.
Yeah?
Joe and Cherry, which one's the top?
They switch.
Oh, yeah, okay, that seems like the only possible answer.
No, they can't switch. One of them has to be trying to, like, they have to be trying to one-up each other.
If it's consistent, well, that's why they switch, is that there is a power struggle and occasionally one wins out. But if it is consistent, then it is Joe and Cherry isn't happy about it.
Real fast, there is one thing that I would like to bring up from the race from episode 5, which is my favorite thing of all time.
Yeah.
It literally had me and my when I was watching it with my roommate.
Is it the Holy Choir?
So Longa and Adam start the race. Longa literally stops when Adam starts smoking, and he's like, "No, you're gonna race me like you actually mean it." And he's like, "Fine." So they start the race, they're doing all the tricks. Longa has mastered the Casper slide at this point. And they're doing all these tricks. So this is where the oh my yes happens, because instead of like trying to pull back like Reki was doing when Adam was doing his creepy dance partner thing, which by the way, he's holding Longa from behind for most of the race. Very uncomfortable.
Mike says that there are gay undertones in this.
Yes,
what do you mean?
There are.
I don't believe you.
Please
No,
elaborate.
that can't be right. That can't be right.
In Japan?
Sk8 Infinity?
In a sports anime? With boys who look like this? No.
No.
Sorry,
never.
Jackson, what were you saying?
He goes for the love hug. Longa dodges it by like flipping over him.
Yeah,
and,
there's nothing gay about a love hug between two dudes. Can't be.
Especially on the trail after a long day of riding those horses.
After a long day of grinding those boards.
He dodges the love hug by literally jumping over Adam.
Yeah.
And while he's in the air grabbing it, you just hear organ music, and Longa becomes like a biblical angel as painted by Michelangelo.
Eve.
And Adam's just sitting there stunned and looking at him as
he's like,
these angelic wings.
Did he just jump over me?
It is one of the funniest images I think I've ever seen, because if you see it without context, it's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of funny, sorry, go on.
And that's it. I just needed to bring up that. I've been wanting to bring up that one image for the longest time because it had me absolutely dying.
Yeah. Just quickly, speaking of funny images, when we do get to episode 12, there's that one image that I sent to the Discord chat that I want to share.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
For some reason, that just killed me.
Alright, so episode 6 is the hot spring episode. It's pointless.
It's filler. Yeah. It's a beach episode mixed with like the early points of Reki's character.
Yep.
We do get a good moment between Reki and Joe, and it has one of my favorite lines where I know hot springs are kind of a boomer thing.
Yeah.
Right at the beginning.
No, you guys are missing one of the best lines too in that hot spring episode. It is where Shadow yells out, I need an adult.
Yep.
Oh my god.
And Joe's response is, I'm not adulting today,
yep.
And he skates off.
Mm-hmm. Like we've had good dubs for a while. Like, from the early 2000s, there's been the occasional incredible dub. Like, Oron's fantastic, original Full Metal Alchemist is very good. But now I feel like we're starting to really get into excellent localization becoming more of a norm.
Mm-hmm.
At least for these high-profile shows, like Sk8, Kaguya-sama, what's the incredible dub we were talking about a while back? Chainsaw Man. We weren't talking about it. I was talking about it. But Chainsaw Man has a fucking miraculous dub.
Mm-hmm. And the dubs are getting better, even though every once in a while we'll get like the stupid political reference ones, like the Prison High
Kobayashi's
School.
Dragon Mage?
Or Prison High School. Yeah, Dragon Maid.
Weren't those both like 10 years ago?
Oh yeah, that was... God, you're making me feel old. 10 years ago, back when I graduated high school.
I'm not sure I care much about all that.
Dragon Maid wasn't as bad. The high school one was making a reference to Gamergate, and that aged like a really bad fine wine.
Yeah, but like
piss.
That's...
I mean, Law and Order also referenced Gamergate.
Well, the difference is that Law and Order is a show that has been running for 30 years or more.
That's fair.
And it stays contemporary. We cannot explain that right now. It was a controversy about conservatism in gaming. We'll go with that.
Okay.
But yeah, there are entire wikis about it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Just look it up after we're done.
If you want to, or don't. Anyway.
Gamergate was really...
Episode 6, there was one thing I wanted to say about it. Oh yeah, it's the beginning of Reki's self-confidence arc.
Yep.
Which is very important and very cool. Where
it's...
Reki is realizing... Sorry, shut up. Nobody asked you.
Okay.
I am the point man. I do the speak. It's this very cool arc where Reki realizes, like, oh shit, compared to Longa, I'm actually not good at skating at all. I'm a chump. I have always been a chump. I'm not like these other people. My ceiling is where these people start. And he spends the next few episodes going through this whole, like, self-confidence crisis where he has to come to terms with the fact that he is never going to be as good as Longa is now, and Longa is only going to get better. Which is, again, the opposite of every other sports anime, where the main character's whole drive is, I am going to get better, I am going to become the best no matter what. Reki spends the next few episodes saying, like, I'm not going to become the best. I'll get better to the best of my ability, but I'm going to learn how to have fun. I am going to enjoy myself no matter where my ceiling is. And Longa and Joe and Cherry and all of them can focus on killing each other in the mines.
And these guys are freaks of nature, and Reki's just a good skateboarder.
But, like, he's had his identity, like, I think I phrased it in the Discord, like, he had the potential to be one of the guys. He thought he did, and now he is a guy. He's the guy who hangs around Longa. People don't even know his name.
It's a good start in this episode in particular, because, so the first half is, like, they have some fun beach shenanigans, and, like, Reki is just sitting there trying to have fun, like, he's just having, like, he's having fun with all of his friends, because all of the... So, it's initially supposed to be Longa, Mia, Reki, and Shadow, who they kind of dragged along...
to be a chaperone, because he's 24 years old.
Yeah, the rest of them are underage, and so they're just taking a boat to go to this hot spring, and then Cherry and Joe just show up for no reason, and they're all just hanging out together, and they're all really good skateboarders, and Reki is just like... It happens, so they decide to have a race to the hot springs on skateboards. And Reki is already kind of, like, he's going to this place.
He's pretty beat up.
Because the race with Adam really messed him up.
Adam really messed him up. The race was fine.
Yes. And so they're about to do this race, and, like, it's framed as if Reki doesn't want to do the race because he's scared of, like, the ghost stories that are going around the island. But, like, as soon as he's skating, they start this race, and, like, you see everybody, and then Longa just kind of, like, slows down, and he's like, wait, where did Reki go? And you just see Reki, he immediately got lost, and he's having these thoughts of, like, all of these people are, like, these absolutely insane, incredible skateboarders, and he's like, why am I hanging out with them? And it starts right here during this race. He's like, I can't keep up with any of these guys. Why am I here?
Which, like Stars in a Jam Jar just mentioned in the chat, it goes back to his monologue in the first episode. Skateboarding is all he is.
Mm-hmm.
And I said in the Discord that a cool direction to take this would be turning Reki into, like, a less friendly rival or a minor antagonist for Longa. Mm-hmm. But I think what they did is better than that. Mm-hmm. Just having him just kind of not give up on skateboarding and not lean into it harder out of self-hatred. Just say, skateboarding has always been all that I am, and it still is.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing has changed just because other people are better at it than me.
And, like, he is, like I mentioned before, which it does come up a few times, he is very good at building decks. He makes, like, a special deck for...
Which is going to come back later, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he makes a special skateboarding deck for Longa that we haven't mentioned at all. He adds in, like, these weird mechanics. For anybody that knows, he essentially makes a freeboard for Longa, which is a special type of skateboard meant for, like, going downhill at, like, 40 miles an hour, and is meant for skateboarders. Or, not skateboarders, snowboarders.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, it's him accepting, there's a very good monologue that I think happens either in the next episode or the one after that, when he's kind of realizing a lot of this stuff about skateboarding. But it's in the next two episodes, he's watching this guy on TV who makes, like, running shoes.
Mm-hmm.
And the shoes, and he's talking about how, like, oh, I used to be really interested in track, but like, I realized that I wasn't able to keep up, and so I started getting into shoemaking, and I'm really happy with the fact that I can still be involved in the sport without having to actively take part. And Reki's having to sit there and be like, "Are you happy though?
Yeah,
are you sure that's like?"
He's basically just sitting there calling this guy a chump.
Mm-hmm. But he's slowly it's him realizing that, like, and, like, that ends up being his viable option, because I can totally see in season 2, like, if, like, Reki's importance to the plot is, like, being a really good skateboard builder.
Mm-hmm. No, like, we don't have time to get into this, but I've been thinking for a while about Blue Lock, and how, has anybody seen Blue Lock?
Nope.
I have not.
Okay, well, the idea behind Blue Lock is that this guy collects the 300 best strikers in all of soccer in Japan, and he says, I'm going to put you through a soccer-based battle royale to determine which of you is the best striker, and all of the rest of you are going to quit playing soccer forever, and this striker is going to go on to the Japanese national team.
Mm-hmm.
So the premise behind it is basically, it's a sports anime, but instead of power of friendship and teamwork, you have to learn selfishness, and how to beat everyone into the dirt, no matter the cost.
Mm-hmm.
So, I've been thinking about how Blue Lock is like the antithesis of every other sports anime, and that's what it's trying to be. It's a deconstruction of the genre.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it would be very interesting to compare it to Sk8 the Infinity, which is also taking a lot of these common sports tropes and inverting them. But in a much more optimistic way, because Blue Lock has very fascist overtones. Stars says that they're thinking of getting into Blue Lock. I'm not sure I would recommend it. It's not that good. It's fine, though. If you like battle royales and sports anime, it'll be great. But it's interesting, is the main thing. So, I guess sports anime are probably going through what Shonen went through 5 years ago. I guess Sk8 came out. No, Sk8 was 2021. I thought it was 2018. But yeah, we're just getting a lot of different takes on sports anime recently, which is something I didn't really consider until we started this conversation. So, yeah, this is fun to think about. Anyway, we'll go to episode 7 now.
Yeah.
Since Scrub is fiendin'.
I'm fiendin'. What happened in episode 7?
I don't remember. Let's find out. Injuries healed. Reki enjoys skating as he did before, but realizes anew just how much difference there is between himself and Longa. Gradually, Reki becomes tormented by an inferiority complex. They stop seeing eye to eye, and just then, Adam makes a certain announcement. Tournament arc!
Yeah, I think we already went over everything. We already discussed Reki's massive L mini arc. So
that continues. Adam announces that there's going to be a tournament arc.
Yeah, tournament arc. I think we should just go to episode 8.
Yep, sure.
We already talked about everything.
Here's the thing. Everything up until like episode we covered basically Reki's arc up until episode 11, and then we can talk about it then.
Yeah,
but so let's just go over like the major details.
There's probably not much to talk about when it comes to episodes 8, 9, 10, and 11 because it's just some of the best goddamn shonen action of the last 5 years.
Yeah,
every episode is amazing.
And
but what can you really say about it? Yeah, the two guys skate, and it's really good.
Yeah, I guess we can go more into Adam's side of things with this one, because it is the episode, like episode 9's the one where
we learned how fucked up his childhood was.
We learned how fucked up his childhood was. It's also the one where, like, we knew Adam's fucked up. Like, to quote a friend that I had watching Sk8 the Infinity last night, Adam needs to go to therapy, and then go to jail, and then the therapy needs to go to jail for therapy. So, when we already have that opinion of Adam, and then he pulls out the kiss move as he rams a skateboard directly into Cherry's nose.
That's not until episode 9.
Yeah, that's what he said. Episode 9.
Oh,
we're still on episode 8, but
we're covering them all because
the tournament qualifiers are in episode 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've this is where we learn Adam is actually
insane.
Insane. Will be a murderer if this continues.
He's
probably already is a murderer.
He's not insane. He just has like a very particular, like he's sadistic in a very specific way. Like I don't think what he has is considered I guess it could be he's not insane, he has a psychosis because we learned that.
I mean, we're using insane very colloquially here, I think. Like, Adam is responsible for everything he does and understands the consequences of his actions.
But at the same time, you see that through the eyes of his secretary, essentially, he had very super restrictive aunts that literally, like, his dad's dead. We don't know anything about his mom. His aunts are these super restrictive, super controlling, they're like old money bitches that just sit there and they try and make other people do the things so they can have money.
What is it with ants in anime having bad opinions about love? Like, it happened in this, it happened in Happy Sugar Life. I'm sure I could name others.
That being a thing in, Platinum End.
Sure.
I think it's more just the idea of a sibling being the one that's the immediate. It's an easy writing trope where because usually if a parent dies and they have siblings, and if they have children, guardianship of the children usually goes to somebody that's still in the family instead of going into the foster care system or something.
To get back on the subject of this tournament arc, I want all of you to direct your attention to the stream so that I can show you this picture of the competitors.
Oh, I know what we're talking about.
Are we talking about Harry?
We're talking about Harry.
We're talking about our boy Harry.
I love Harry. Harry for the win.
Harry, a.k.a. the guy that's literally there to stand in for Reki.
Harry got a place in this tournament.
All right, chat. Everybody
chat, clap for Harry.
Everybody clap for Harry and tell us your favorite thing about Harry.
I like that it's Harry.
I like his hair.
No thought put into his character design.
I like that he loses within about 10 seconds.
He is that guy from Sword Art Online. From
I
the
like
cats
how he's
with the
I
hat.
like how he's the only character with glasses out of that entire roster.
Why would you wear glasses in a skateboard competition?
You have to see, Scrub!
You get contacts for that!
No.
Everybody, please, can we get some dubs in the chat for Harry?
Harry!
Harry!
Oh, he's so good.
I like that he has a white guy named Star. That is the best comment.
And then the other competitor who we've been hinting at is Snake, who is
Snake.
Something I like about him. One, Adam's been referring to Longa as his Eve the whole time, and he's trying to get in there because he thinks he's Adam's secretary, and he is he's convinced that skateboarding is ruining Adam's life.
Yep.
And so he's trying to get him out of it because he has other things to worry about right now.
Especially considering his company's under investigation for perjury.
Yeah.
And Adam's focusing more on the tournament than his own life.
Yeah, so...
I think he's focusing more on his own life than politics, but go on.
Yeah. And so this kid was a servant in Adam's house growing up, and he taught him how to skateboard. And so he blames the fact that he taught him as skateboarding as to why he's
why he is this way.
Crazy. Yeah. And so he enters the tournament and just absolutely wrecks everybody else because he's the one that taught Adam, so he's better than Adam.
You would think that, but Reki and Longa mean that that's not necessarily true.
Right. And I will say I like that the way he's dressed is he is dressed as the guys that we see that are essentially the guys that run S. So they're the ones that set up they're the ones that set everything up and the track, and they're the ones that keep an eye out for the police and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So he dresses as an uber generic guy to get into the tournament, and gets in there and absolutely fucking. He depresses Mia because he just shows that he's so good, and he just makes Mia really sad.
He does better than Adam in the preliminaries.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing, because Cherry's trying to call out Adam, and Adam is literally ignoring him the whole time.
Which is another fucking brilliant line at the end of their beef.
Oh god, yeah.
When after he has hit Cherry in the face with a skateboard at 25 miles an hour and walks over to his dying body and says, "The reason I haven't accepted your challenges is because I find you boring."
And so, for context, Cherry, Joe, and Adam used to get into all kinds of mischief when they were teenagers, skateboarding around.
Adam used to be cool.
Yeah, and then Adam started doing some weird stuff that they were calling out on him, and then he ended up getting sent to America by his dad when his dad found out that he was skateboarding.
Why would you send him to America to get him to stop skateboarding?
Well, I think the idea is he's sending him to go do some political.
I'm sending you to North Dakota. There are 0 hills.
Oh no!
Send him to Kansas or something, I guess. But send him somewhere with no skateboarding culture. Send him to Canada.
And
Canada has snowboarding.
Yeah, but that's not skateboarding.
Yeah,
Canada has a lot of skateboarding.
I know that Canada has skateboarding. I'm just making a joke about Longa.
I know. And this is where we get the detail with Adam is kind of distant from his secretary, and he's very abusive because essentially instead of going up to bat for him, this boy who's been a servant at this house his whole life just says, when his dad burned his skateboard and told him he was being a fucking scrub, is just hey, he's he tried to say something, he's like, "Shut up, servant," and he's like, "I don't have any opinions about this," and it really, you literally see in Adam's face, he was absolutely betrayed by that action. So he doesn't fucking care about anything anymore. Yeah, so...
Yeah, I would just like to bring up when Snake talks to Adam for the first time, and Adam thinks, like, are you trying to get me to eat your apple?
Yeah.
Are you trying to be the top for once? You disgust me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this show is absurd.
Mm-hmm.
It has no right to be as good as it is.
No one can top me, and no one ever will!
Episode 9, Cherry races Adam and gets smacked in the face with a skateboard.
Because Adam literally doesn't want to put in the time to... It's like, it's the ultimate insult, because...
Yeah, I love...
Yeah, I don't want to finish this race, get killed with a skateboard.
Yeah, I love how Cherry is immediately, like, his whole deal's like, I think that it's not because Adam's scared of fighting us. I think we're still friends deep down.
Yep. And then he just smacks him across the face. Horn side up, by the way. Because the heart is at the back, so he smacks him with the side of his board that has horns sticking out of it. And so Cherry ends up in the hospital with a... How does he afford a Carla wheelchair?
He's very famous.
He does calligraphy.
He does calligraphy.
But I mean, if we go back to
Don't
the
you
beach
understand?
episode, if we go back to the beach episode, his entire room at the beach was comped by the hotel.
Because
That's
he wrote for them. He did
That's
calligraphy.
Fair. Yeah, that's fair.
I like to think that, like, calligraphy is just, like, something on his side, and he's just an IT manufacturing company.
Yeah, no, we're misunderstanding here. He invented artificial general intelligence. That's why he's so rich. He just does calligraphy for pocket change.
I would like to say...
Calligraphy is his passion.
And I would like to say, the reason... Cherry's whole skateboarding technique, yes, he has the robot skateboard, but, like, he literally asks his skateboard and has, like, Tony Stark-esque holographic contact lenses, so he can take an angle at whatever math he needs to.
He can take an angle at whatever math he needs to.
It's accurate.
Yeah.
Say I'm wrong. Say that is
No,
a
I just love it.
Cherry flies down the hill at the velocity of math.
He jumps off a cliff like, Carla, how do I survive this? You do not.
Damn it, Carla.
Damn it, Carla.
Then it becomes that bumper that we see where Carla becomes a fucking jet and he goes off into the distance.
Carla, cut off Adam's balls.
I cut off my balls long ago.
I'm afraid I cannot do that.
Okay, Master. I love that Carla calls Cherry Master.
I mean, like, all the jokes of the bumpers is he's in love with the skateboard.
Yeah, he literally is. Cherry doesn't need a girlfriend. Cherry is AI sexual.
I've seen that movie.
What, Ghost? What, Ghost?
Her with Joaquin Phoenix. It's a good movie.
I love at the end of that she tells him, I've been doing this with like 1,000 other men all at the same time.
Oh my god,
it's a great movie. I don't remember it at all. Anyway,
Cherry's fucking dead.
Yeah. We do get an after credit scene where him and Joe are hanging out, and this is also the episode where Reki has basically been avoiding S for the entirety of the tournament, and he shows up because before Adam and
there's Joe and Longa.
Joe and Longa, and
where how could I forget my literal favorite scene in this entire show? Where we get the ultimate move from Joe.
Joe's whole thing is that he literally just uses his giant muscles to jump off of things at really fast angles, and his ultimate move is just to plank on his board, decreasing air resistance and making it so his momentum goes up.
The moment I saw those back muscles tear, I knew
that you were in love.
I don't know about that now.
I know, I'm kidding around.
That I was in triple love.
But we also get the great
one for each ab
of Joe's way of trying to get to the finish line is he jumps over a fucking girder that's just hanging in the factory, hits it forward, and then skates over it. And Longa's way of catching up is the thing is swinging back and forth, so he jumps over it, it comes back around towards him, and he jumps onto the front of it as it's pushing him forward and uses that to just fucking yeet himself.
It's so dumb, but it's so cool. Longa does the dumbest things that end up looking cool, like connecting the rails against Mia.
Because he has spinning wheels on his skateboard, and not
I mean, most wheels spin.
Right, they spin the other way.
Not the axis. Not the same way the wheels.
The axle spins.
The actual trucks of the skateboard spin.
Yeah.
Yeah, this does tie back in. When he lands, he breaks his skateboard too.
Yep.
And that's important for next episode.
One thing I thought about is why wouldn't it work to give Longa's skateboard wheels like a trackpad rollerball? Is that something that should be tried?
The problem is how would you set that up without it being make it so you can't really do turns without basically sliding.
It's not.
Let him slide.
It's not as it's not as maneuverable. And like
that's what I mean.
The reason that Reki put the rotating trucks
Axle.
on his board, they're called trucks. He put the rotating trucks on his board is like I said before, there's a skateboard that's called a freeboard that is a long board that has the two normal trucks, and then it has a basically like a wheel that spins on its own like on chairs and stuff like that, that spins on its own, that's like right in the middle. And so at any point, and it's set up in the way that only two of those wheels are ever hitting the road. So the idea is it creates more of a snowboarding experience where you're able to rotate the board the same way Longa's able to on his board. And so you can't really do that with a trackball, because with a trackball it creates a lot more friction.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah. Not to mention, depending on how you have the trackball set up, if there's only 2 or 4, if he tries to rotate it too much, like curve to one side, even if it's spring-loaded, that would create more friction. And if it wasn't spring-coated, half of the board would basically come up because there wouldn't be any way to push the other side down in.
Like, that is why Reki did that idea in the first place, because when Longa was ever trying to turn, because of the way that he turns, he's putting a lot more friction on the wheels of the board, and that's making him have to fall off. As someone who has literally fallen in the same way because my board was not flexed correctly, and I will post it for you guys later if you're curious. I fucked up my arm pretty royally doing that when I first started. When you have that kind of friction, it really knocks you off and hurts when you hit that hard. Because all that momentum is then going into you, and that's why Longa kept falling. So that
makes sense.
So that's why that kind of so we move on from that's.
We don't need another engineering lesson. Let's keep going.
I'm sorry.
More skate.
We move on to episode 9.
I'm satisfied.
Episode 9. Besides Cherry getting absolutely destroyed, I believe also, Shadow. He protects from rain, bees, and bats, and bats are the most important right now.
Yeah, I didn't catch that this was the guy from the first episode.
Yeah, however, this is something that really bugs me. So, we see early on, the guy that Shadow was supposed to race in the first episode.
He appears in episode 8 before he shows back up.
Yeah, and he's upset that Shadow is winning. And then he shows up here, and he pulls out a bat to attack Shadow while he's out doing his normal day-to-day job as Hirumi. And I don't understand why, because he's not the one that lost the race.
Well, no, Shadow did lose that race.
Yeah, Shadow lost the race while this guy was in defense of this girl, but according to the girl, he's not manly enough anymore.
Yeah, he didn't. If that idiot could have won against Shadow, why didn't you do it with that stupid board?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but for some reason he blames Shadow and not Longa, because Longa's the one that beat Shadow. Shadow, like,
because if you want to think of it further, this is probably just like fan speculation, but because Shadow is such the anti-hero, he probably called him out before the race happened, and then he had to come to defend his girl, otherwise he would have looked like a chump.
Yeah, well, it's not Longa's fault for beating Shadow. It's Shadow's fault for not beating Longa. Shadow should have been better.
No, I was thinking it was more like
that's not what he says in the episode. Like, literally, as he's like coming up on Shadow, he's like, I think the girl's name is Mitsuki. He's like, Mitsuki thinks that
I thought it was Mia.
He thinks I'm not manly anymore, and he's beating the hell out of Shadow because of it. So he's attacking Shadow for no reason.
Yeah, and in the sub, he says you're the reason she left me or something like that.
Yeah,
that's why I was saying my speculation is it's because originally Shadow called him out, and then they had the beef, which meant that they were going to skate.
But I mean, I guess, but at the same time, like, Shadow still lost the race, so I don't understand what why she would be upset. Because is it because Shadow lost the race, so she thinks that like he would have won if he was on the board?
That's probably the best
characters.
Yeah,
that's probably the best connection.
Yeah, that does make sense. And then I
mean, there's a tenuous connection that Shadow is the one who set the skateboard on fire and made him unable to race.
I guess.
I'm sure it makes sense, and I just wasn't paying close enough attention.
I think you guys are really just taking it too far. He's just mad at Shadow.
Yeah, I feel like it is just misdirected rage.
Yeah. Yeah.
He has no balls to fight Shadow, so he seems weak. Which is fair.
Yeah, I was thinking that part of it is that the girl thinks he's just a bit of a wimp for not taking the challenge anyway, like Tenik said.
I guess that's fair.
And he blames Shadow for that.
I can see that.
Yeah, people are irrational.
That's true. But yeah,
so yeah, and also...
Like, it is one of the weaker plot points, sure, but it also doesn't matter that much.
Yeah.
I know, just like... It's the main reason why episode 11 happens, and that's why I felt like it needed to.
Do we want to talk about episode 10 where Reki gets hit by a car and dies?
Yeah. I love watching Reki get hit by a car.
I would like to bring up episode 9.5 real fast.
I didn't watch that.
Because the last few episodes of the show got delayed when COVID hit. So they have a little episode where it's Mia and Shadow narrating the first few episodes. And it's very fun commentary because the way that they tease the next episode is they have the characters be very goofy and random, and it kind of has that same energy. So it's it's not a necessary episode, but it's kind of a fun episode to watch because you see all these happening through the eyes of two characters that weren't there for a lot of it.
Sort of like the Full Metal Alchemist recap episode or the Avatar recap episode.
Yes.
Or the time I got reincarnated as a slime recap episode.
Sure. Never watched that show. It's garbage.
Yeah,
we're gonna fight, but later.
It's a little
later. Not the time for slime fight. Next, moving on.
It's a little bit more like FMAs, I'd say.
Anyway, yeah.
Episode 10. Reki gets isekai'd.
Yeah.
he gets isekai'd by Adam.
Yeah, hold on. There's no isekai here. That's not a truck. It was a car. He just dies.
He still got isekai'd into a love hotel.
Sure, fair enough.
This was also after he got beat up, I should say. So, most of this episode is Reki walking around moping.
Reki hits rock bottom, and then gets punched in rock bottom.
Yes. He's walking around, this weird alleyway, where he sees these guys who are like, hey, you were that guy that was going to be a part of our group. And he's like, yeah, well, you're all a bunch of fucking posers.
I found a better group. It's illegal.
And then they beat the shit out of him for it.
As they should. He was being a punk.
Yeah, and he ends up in an alleyway just fucking numb, and this is when we get the reason why Oka's in the show, because he comes in and sees Reki sitting there, and he's like, they're all better than us, but that doesn't mean that you don't have skills.
Yep.
They're in
You are an
world.
excellent human skater. These people are just monsters.
Yep.
And also, even if you weren't an excellent skater, that doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is one of my personal pet peeves, is when people take being bad at something as a personality flaw, somehow. Like, it's not an insult to say that somebody isn't good at something. I get that it doesn't feel good sometimes, but it's not saying you are a bad person or stupid or anything like that. It's just saying, hey, this is not one of your skills yet. Like, taking a lack of skill as something that you should be ashamed of inhibits growth. It's one of the things that most frustrates me. Like, I have a friend who is very bad about that, and every time they start trying to do something, they give up very quickly. And they get frustrated even when they've asked for help with the thing, which is rare. Even when they've asked for help, they get very frustrated when the help is given, because they take criticism and aid as a sign that they are not currently the best person in the world at the thing that they have just started doing. And it makes it difficult for them to learn things. Because of course you suck at, I don't know, weaving. You've never done it before. Everything that I am good at, I used to suck at.
That's why, my girlfriend can have that mentality sometimes. But we've been playing Magic a lot. Like, she's been joining me whenever I go and play Magic on Saturdays recently. And she's trying really hard to work on deck strategy and figuring out how to play the game and interaction and stuff like that. And I've been like, she's learning more on her own how to like keep up with some of the decks that me and my friends play, and I've been really proud of her for it, because she hasn't given up on it. She's keeping trying because she's having fun with it.
Yep.
And like, you can't get better at something if you stop trying it right away.
Yeah, Magic is a great example. Just because it's so ridiculously complicated, it can take months just to actually learn how to play the game without having to ask any questions, even if you've got the simplest deck imaginable. And then, like, all of the card interactions, all of the different keywords, like, and then having to predict and react to what all of your opponents are doing, knowing how to evaluate threats, knowing how to pilot different decks.
Yeah.
Like, another example of that is, like, art, considering that I'm one of those here. It takes time. It's not just skill, like every dumbass who looks at your piece says.
No, you were blessed by God to have that talent, Fire King.
Talent? Well, I have some natural stuff, but it's really hard.
No, it was God. You were blessed by God, and you should be thankful.
Yeah.
Just anything that goes against a growth mindset ticks me off a whole lot. And that's part of what I vibe with so much about this show, is even the characters who are naturally very good at things, they constantly get better.
I love the ending because of that, where it shows each of the characters failing tricks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and it gives all the different fun names for the various wipeouts.
Are we talking about the ending? No,
we're talking about the ED.
The ED of the show, the ending credits.
Oh, okay. Okay, got it. Not the actual ending.
Also a great song. Love it. It's such a vibe.
Super vibey.
Yeah. And like we even what was I gonna?
We can talk about the ending. We'll talk about the ED after we get done talking about Reki and Longest beefs against Adam.
Yeah.
I thought Reki won his beef.
Yeah, no. So,
Like, I understand that he didn't. There was a very funny exchange.
He won the moral victory.
There was a very funny exchange in the Discord where I was like, wait, I thought I saw Reki's board cross the finish line first, and Fire King just said, no, that's not what happened. Like, oh, okay, I didn't consider that.
I had to pull a screenshot. I had to pull a screenshot from
I get you.
Find it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I just immediately figured out that he didn't get it.
Sure, no, I guess I just was seeing things.
No, I understand
it
that.
It was really close. But no.
Yeah, it was very close.
I thought he won it first too when I first watched it.
And then the next episode starts and it's Adam versus Longa. I'm like, wait, that's not. Why is this the finals? But yeah, Reki has his beef against Adam, and there's so many cool details in this race. Like, we don't even have time to go into them anymore. But Reki jumps off a fucking cliff.
Yeah.
And when he says, like, I don't know if I can do this, it doesn't matter, it's gonna be fun, to jump off a cliff, like,
If Reki jumped off a cliff, would you, Longa?
Yeah, no, like, there's the obvious way he meant it, but then there's also the way he could have meant it, which is just like, if I die, then I don't have to worry about being bad at skating anymore, and if I live, then I'm good at skating.
For context, real fast, episode 10 is Reki and Longa make up. Adam notices that the reason Longa likes skateboarding is because of Reki, and he hates it, so he decides, because Shadow's in the hospital...
Yeah, so he kills Harry.
No, because Adam is in charge of S, so he just gets to pick who he wants to race for the semifinals. So he picks Reki, and Reki ends up almost winning because he uses the one brain cell that he has to outthink Adam instead of being pure skill.
No, there's the great scene, I think it's at the end of the last episode, where Reki is talking... Either the beginning of this one or the end of the last one.
It's the beginning of this one because he's repairing Longa's board.
Where Reki and Longa are talking about all the different wheels that Reki has, and like, I have this one that's good in the rain, and then the brain cells just click together. He's like, wait, the rain. Skating in the rain. Skating in the rain, people slide in the rain. There's mud. People slide in the mud in the rain. It's raining now. It might rain tomorrow. Rain, wheels, board, slide. Me no slide. It wheels, me no slide. Adam slide. Adam slide if me wheels. And then he puts the rain wheels on his board, and like, me go slow first, but then Adam slide.
Yeah, I mean, he probably knows the weather.
Jackson laughed when me say Adam slide.
It's me slide.
Me no slide, Adam slide. Me no slide, have traction wheels, me no slide. No mud, me no slide.
Jump off cliff.
Oh my
me
God,
jump, nothing to slide. So he puts on his special rain wheels, he no slide. And Adam is like, I hate rain, it's coarse and rough and it gets everywhere.
He totally
Oh my God.
But Reki, like, outplays Adam with the rain, and then he also does the fucking love hug.
Yeah, so Adam starts off by just constantly, he literally throws Reki everywhere, throws him off, spins him around, grinds his back against rock wall, and I'm like, how does Reki still have a spine after that?
How does he still have skin?
Yeah.
He's not even wearing pads or a helmet, like...
They bring that up earlier in the episode, the last episode too. If you're planning on fighting him, you should at least wear these. And he's like, "No, I'm good."
Yeah, I'll be less maneuverable if I wear those. Like,
Oka brings that up with Longa.
It's like, yeah, you'll also be less dead.
Yeah. So Adam's beating him up, and then Reki kind of starts losing. Like everything starts going gray, like the first time he raced Adam. And Adam's like, "Oh look, there's a turn. I'm gonna make you go down that fucking cliff, boy." And Reki's like, "Wait, can I do it?" Who cares? It'll be fun to try it anyway. And makes an absolutely crazy jump, passing Adam. And then
Adam can teleport, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Adam's right behind him as soon as he gets to the bottom of the cliff.
And then Reki's like, wait, no, we're not done yet. Love hugs Adam, and he's just kind of hanging on to him.
Yeah, no, that's the really cool thing about the love hug, is because I can imagine this happening in Haikyuu. Like, when Kageyama does the dump in Haikyuu, and everyone's like, oh, shit! Like that very famous Vine.
Yeah.
But, like, in Haikyuu, if this had happened, there would have been, like, a slow-mo moment, and they would have zoomed in on the skateboard, and Reki's theme song would have started playing, and it would have been like, okay, I'm gonna do the love hug. Can I do the love hug? And then his skateboard turns around, and we see a big impact as the front wheels hit the ground, and he grabs Adam. But, like, no. In this show, he just kind of spins around and hugs him.
He just spins around, and Adam's like,
what the fuck are you doing, boy?
And then he literally just starts beating the shit out of him.
Yep, he punches him!
Adam's like 30, by the way, and Reki's 17, and you see just blood spraying across the top of Reki's board. Like, he's bleeding from the head, he is just getting wrecked. And then he feels a single drop of rain, parts away from Adam, and he's like,
I've won now.
I swear when I watched that...
like, oh, are we doing this again? Yay!
I swear when I watched that scene the first time, I didn't think that was rain. I thought that was a bead of sweat.
I thought it was a tear.
But then
I thought it was rain.
Well, look at Scrub over here, analytic mastermind.
I am!
I'd like to just mention something really quickly about Adam and teleporting.
Yeah?
Somebody in chat a while ago mentioned that in their
headcanon, he is Dio reincarnated.
Yes.
I did see that.
He just stops time. That's how he teleports. He just stops time.
But yeah, Adam can teleport, so it doesn't matter how far ahead Reki or Longa gets. He's going to be right behind them in the next scene. So Reki does the love hug, and there is no fanfare at all. And then Adam gets all sloppy in the rain. Because his board isn't meant for rain, and he hates rain. He gets dirty, and muddy, and wet. And all of a sudden, he's just slip-sliding all over the place. And then they get to the abandoned factory. What happens at the very end of the race? I forget.
Adam goes Super Saiyan mode, basically.
Yeah, but he gets really mad and decides, I'm just gonna run past this guy. No more skateboards.
And unfortunately, Adam wins.
Yeah, before that, the way it starts raining, Reki is like slowly gaining the advantage on Adam. And so Adam sees an opening where he can just like cut a corner and smack Reki with his board. So he does that, gets in the way, takes the board, is about to swing. Reki ducks under it, and he tosses up his jacket. And I'm really, really sad that Reki didn't go, "Oh, lay, motherfucker," because Adam's a matador. And dodges under it. And,
I don't know. Like I'm half and half on that. I think it very easily could have been too much and gone campy. Yeah,
I guess that's true.
But it also could have been amazing.
But Reki manages to dodge the love hug. And because Adam just has a bunch of momentum from swinging this board and like getting off to do it, he slips and falls into the mud.
Yeah.
And it's just like he's trying to like get up and like continue the race, and everybody's cheering for Reki. And he's going really fast. He's making his way down. He literally, Adam tries to get up and go towards his board, and he slips again, and everybody starts laughing at him. He can't handle that. He's fucking pathetic. And then we get a slow moment where we think it's gonna be a situation like with Longa, because it literally like it cuts out the music in the same way, and has it's like this is. And then and then he gets mad, goes Super Saiyan, and just tears down the track. And my favorite thing is that he grabs a person in order to drift properly around a corner to keep momentum. He literally grabs somebody and flings them. Did you guys catch that?
I didn't see it, no.
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
it's amazing. It's an amazingly animated scene too, which is why I like the studio.
It's like somebody sitting there and he grabs their leg.
Who was this? Was this Wit Studio?
No, this was it wasn't Wit Studio. This was like their first anime too.
Oh.
Oh shit. Well, they did amazing.
Yeah, and this was their original anime too. There's no
Bones.
manga with this.
Mm-hmm. This is Bones. They're the guys that do My Hero.
Yeah.
Wait, they did My Hero?
Yeah, this is
Studio Bones is a very famous animation studio.
Mm-hmm.
Did I get the wrong?
Created by Studio Bones.
Might be getting the wrong one. They made Studio Bones made Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah,
I might be mixing up with the wrong one. Then let me look it up again.
Hiroko Utsumi is the person
Studio
who
Bones
animated
is the one
and
known for doing fight scenes.
Yeah, did the storyboard for it.
So.
Mm-hmm.
No, Studio Bones is a very famous shonen studio. I was in the same room as the president of Studio Bones once.
Oh, cool!
I did speak to him, and he doesn't speak English anyway. But
that's right.
But anyway. We were like 30 feet apart while he was giving a talk at the Anime Awards.
Nice.
Then I might have misunderstood because this is a. I don't think it's based off a book. It was a tie-in with Bones.
It is an original anime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
then we have
Adam,
the end of episode 11.
So. Reki gets into the factory and his wheel goes loose because he fucking crashed from when he went off the cliff.
Mm-hmm.
So he's losing a bunch of momentum because his wheel is off, is like loose, and Adam is just barreling his way through
because his wheels aren't loose.
Adam, slide now.
Adam, roll now. Adam on roll. Adam, no slide.
He also
indoors.
As soon as he gets into the factory, he like hops off of a ledge, and people think that he's gonna crash onto the ground. And he grabs a hook and just swings
over the audience.
Oh my God, yeah.
Like this is a fucking Uncharted game. Like,
what kind of factory is this?
It's the factory.
It's the skate factory.
It's
we
like
have
in
20 minutes.
It's the factory.
We should speed this up so we can talk about the next month.
Yeah. The show ends. Adam is like, at the end of episode 11, Adam goes to the tailor shop and he's like, I need something tailored for me.
Sir, we only work on suits.
Sir, this is a suit tailor shop, sir. Do you need a suit tailored? He's like, I need something for a very unforgettable event. Like, is it a wedding, sir? Would you like a wedding suit? Like, no, I need you to make me look like the skateboarding Grim Reaper.
Yeah, that's my line. Thank you. No, I would like to highlight this little absolute gem that Expoint decided to put into our Discord, our Anime Club Discord chat. Episode 12. I need you to tailor me bondage gear, sir. This is a haberdashery. I'll be dashing hammers in it, I assure you.
Oh my God.
Another gem that I'd like to highlight is that there's a song called "Destroyer of Worlds" by Coyote Kid, which is about the new Grim Reaper getting his suit tailored. It's fantastic. They're a great band. The guy sounds like a cartoon skeleton.
It's so good.
Femme Fatale is another.
Speaking of music, everyone here, the 16 people that are watching at this very moment, after you're done watching this video, go look up Behind the Mask. That is the song that plays during Longa and Adam's race, and it's so good.
I will say you got to make sure to specify that's from Sk8 the Infinity because there's also a track from Persona 5 called that.
Yes, but
the Sk8 one.
Yeah, Sk8 the Infinity. It's so good.
Adam. So
the last word of the synopsis. The synopsis of the last episode ends with the sentence, "The finals between Adam and Longa will now begin," which is not the last thing that happens. They end actually.
So there's a lot of. So let's. I've watched this episode like a few dozen times. So do you mind if I just go through it really fast and you guys can? So we get to the finals. Reki fixes Longa's board. They go to S, and there's a bunch of traffic, and they're being guided somewhere else because the rain from the previous night when Reki was about to win flooded the factory. So they have to use like
the old course.
They have to use an old course that they banned.
The course that the crazy skate men decided was too crazy.
Yeah, because it is just a, oh my gosh,
a screaming metal death trap.
It is a track from a racing game.
Yeah,
it is a Bowser level in Mario Kart.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is. So it is a giant open. So the track is like out of the side of the mountain, as opposed to like directly in front of it, like with what they did with the regular S. And it's just this open maw of fucking stalactites sticking down like the teeth of a great dragon, and it is rickety and has all these crazy turns. And they
and not maintained.
Adam walks up to Longa and he said, "I'm selecting Special Cup 200cc."
Yeah, and because
everyone slide.
And because Adam feels like extra, and he's tired of all the bullshit, he dresses like a skating Grim Reaper, and he makes
a coffin-shaped skateboard.
He makes a coffin-shaped skateboard that becomes a cross-shaped skateboard, and the final, the finish line for the track is a literal gravestone.
Which I can only imagine he stole from someone. Like, it's a real gravestone. He really should be going
to jail. He should be going to jail, but I don't care because I love this man.
Yeah, so, and I love the way that it starts. This is something that, like, Expoint kind of touched upon when he talked about the edit in SAO bridged with the Kobold Lord, where it's literally Longa just walks up, Adam does a tiny speech, he flips a coin, and they just go. Like he uses the coin flipping like an old Western style of doing a draw, where like as soon as that coin hits the ground, they are racing.
Mm-hmm.
And it becomes this crazy track. The music is super intense. And Adam is slowly drawing Longa into the zone, because Adam uses skateboarding as an escape from his shitty life as a politician. So he literally they make the zone as like
a focus that athletes get.
The zone is like a superpower essentially. So it's like, if you've ever seen Cardfight Vanguard, their eyes light up like they have fucking Psyqualia. There's just rainbow eyes. Everything else is blacked out. They only see the other skater. And Adam is like, "What do you think of my world? Don't you love it? We can be here forever together, and we don't need to worry about anything else."
But what's
Longa's
cool?
kind of losing it.
Yeah,
Longa's losing it.
Mm-hmm.
They go over just a piece of half-rotted plywood for a bridge for this place, which is probably why they canceled. They got rid of it.
Well, because they couldn't afford to replace the plywood.
And Adam skates over it first. It cracks. Longa skates over it. He's not paying attention to anything else. It breaks. He starts falling. He's like, "Am I gonna die?"
And then he towards fun, and it was like, "Oh right, I'm having fun.
I can't die."
Yeah,
I can't die. I have to go smooch my boyfriend.
And like this is not a great, like, this is obviously the most unrealistic thing that happens, but he starts skating down all this
vertical
rock,
cliffside,
like it's a mountain. And then he sees
Jacob.
Yeah.
You watched the sub, right?
Yes.
Tell me, because I feel like we are the only two that have watched the sub. What was your opinion on the amazing acting on the father?
Holy shit.
Was it that bad?
Well, okay. They have him speak in English, but if they're gonna have him speak in English, you could try to get a Canadian voice actor for it, or at least somebody who's
they don't do that.
Have a Japanese accent.
That's not something they do.
But it was
like, I can only speculate about why, but just knowing what I do about Japanese work culture, like, it's all about who you know. I think that's pretty hard for immigrants to break into.
Yeah.
Are you having the fun, my son?
Not to mention they also.
That is
it's
basically
not also,
what it sounded like.
Yeah.
However,
it's not also who you know, it's quality of what you know, or something like that. I forget. Go on.
I do. Longa's dad, though, does have he has a very fun. He has like in the dub, it's a lot better, but he essentially says, "Are you winning, son?
Are you winning, son?"
He's like, "Are you having fun?" And he's like, "Yeah, Dad. Yeah, I am." And then he starts skating down, crashes into Adam, They both just they both hop. They have like
they could both be dead, but they're not.
They have a literal fight scene once he catches up. And they both crash into each other. They fall down. Somebody posted a picture of it on the Discord chat. They look like they're laying down dead.
Yep.
It's really funny.
Could you put that picture
Blood
on
is
screen?
full of zone. You should do some Skate with friends about it.
What I love about the zone scene, and I want to go back to this real quick, is that the zone is pretty common in sports anime. You see it every now and again. But you never see it like you see it with Langa, where Langa is now in the zone. He can only focus on the other skater, so he trips over a rock. Like, it's so interesting. Yeah, it's so interesting that Adam is in the zone. He is hyper-focused on everything and could not possibly make a mistake. He is at the peak of his ability. Langa is in the zone, so he feels nothing. Which means that he is no longer connected to skateboarding. He is only focused on what is happening, not how he feels about it. And so he gets worse.
And he forgets about his boyfriend, Reki.
Yeah.
No, and I like that the comparison is him being there reminds him of, like, the dark depression when he would try and go snowboarding.
Skateboarding becomes mechanical.
Which, by the way, I think we implied it, but we forgot to mention the reason Langa's in Japan is because his dad died.
Yeah,
like his dad is the reason that he loved snowboarding.
Snowboarding.
So, and he's talking in this moment of he's like it's like when I used to go down the mountain when Dad died, where it's they did I love the shot composition here because I've been skiing on days that are like this. The sky is completely like dark gray, all the trees are super pale, and all you see is the white snow, and Langa has no shine to his eye whatsoever. He's just barreling down a mountain super fast, but he doesn't care. Because when you build connections through hobbies like that, when that person's gone, it becomes really hard to engage in it again. So he's like, I forgot that this is why I like. He's like, he doesn't want to be alone skating. That's the underlying theme. Is like Langa likes skating because he likes the people that he skates with. Adam like is doing this because he
because he dislikes everyone else.
No, he doesn't dislike everybody else. He's trying to pull like that's the point that they're making in the speech is like so the race stops for a minute. Langa gets up first, and you think he's going to keep going, but he helps Adam up, and he's like, Adam's all pissy because he's not trying to win the race, but he went into the zone, and he's out of it, and he's like, come on, it's fun, and he's like, you don't understand, things aren't allowed to always be fun, and
you don't understand me, Dad.
Right, yeah, well, like, Adam has had a very specifically controlled life, so I can understand why he has that feeling, is, like, nothing's ever what you want it to be. So
if he actually said, you don't understand me, Dad, as a joke, that would have been a good line.
It really would have, and so Longa's
even it's just like, yeah, okay, Dad.
Longa's sitting there, and he's like, you're lonely, aren't you? And he's like, no, I don't care about anybody. And he's like, then why are you so insistent on bringing me into the world that you want to live in? So they continue to skate, and like they start trying to like do more with it. And this is when the song that Scrub was talking about plays. Such an amazing song. And like as this is happening, Adam's having all these recollections of when Snake, who is actually named Tadashi, when Tadashi was like teaching him how to skateboard, and he's like, wait, why am I thinking about this right now? I'm in the middle of a race. But after this point, Adam isn't like trying to attack Langa anymore to win the race. He's just skating. And it comes down to the wire, and they get to the bottom, and they're both doing that as they get to the end, and Langa manages to barely pull ahead. Reki's at the finish line, and then
hello, Mariah.
He tackles Reki.
Yeah, he just tackles Reki.
They kissed.
Doesn't care if he won or not.
They kissed.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's Scrub's headcanon that they kissed.
They kissed!
Fine.
Points
No,
at all of you! You believe me!
I saw it.
And
Yuri on concrete.
Yeah, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get the little epilogue.
Yeah, nice little epilogue.
Adam gets up and he's like, and Tadashi comes over to him and he's like, I remembered why I loved skating, and I remembered why everything that you taught me. And like Adam definitely deserves to go to jail, but I think there is
absolutely
like he does realize like he does change. Like Adam, like at the end of this is like Adam is not necessarily different. That's why he's still dressing up as in his old costume, like we see in the epilogue.
Mm-hmm.
But like Adam has changed, and I think there's something to be said that like when people change, we should be willing to try and.
Well, he did change, but I think we're forgetting to acknowledge that he deserves to go to jail for the perjury.
Yes,
he's still purging. He's still perjuring.
And then he still wins.
He actually perjures more.
Yeah, he sells out to someone else, and then he takes over the company completely.
Yeah.
It's not the company. It's like the committee.
The political group.
Yeah, and then he says, "You're mine forever, little doggy," and then Snake.
Yeah.
And then the show ends.
The show ends on
Shadow with the epilogue.
We get a shot of Reki and Longa show up to the original S location, and he's like, "It's the finals. Are you ready?" And then they say 3, 2, 1, go.
And then they do their gay little skate hands.
And I will say, right before that, we forgot to mention the gay skate hands, guys.
I just did.
No, I mentioned we mentioned it, but they do a little gay little skate hands.
Gay little skate hands. They're skateboard wheels, and also it's a lemna skate.
They have a special dap.
Mm-hmm.
Special handshake.
But yeah, so right before that is Longa paralleling Reki's speech at the beginning of the show about what happiness means, and it's also a good speech.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think. I mean, we have 5 minutes left. Does anybody?
We're gonna go a little over, but
we're going a little over so we can at least talk about like our little thoughts.
I do want to make a correction. The studio I was talking about was Studio. Studio No Border was the one I was thinking about. That it was one of the first animes I think they worked on as a consultant group.
Okay,
gotcha.
They were established in 2018, and this one came out in 2001. They might have worked on some other stuff, but it seems that's the earliest thing they have posted.
Mm.
Yeah. As you can tell, guys, we liked this anime. That's why everything was really disjointed when we were talking.
Yeah, this is the most like chaotic, disjointed discussion we've had, but we just love everything
go
about
watch
the
the
show.
Infinity. Like
you can hear the passion
in our voices. If you understand
voices.
what we were saying, just go watch the show.
If you haven't watched the show, why are you one of the 16 people who is still here?
Yeah.
What did you get out of this?
Go watch the show. It's incredible.
I recommend watching the dub, and somebody's watch the sub.
Yeah, please
You'll
watch
probably
the
enjoy it
dub.
more.
I can't speak for how good the sub is, but God.
The sub is still good.
If English is your native language, the dub is just so much better.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, if English isn't your native language, then tell me how the dub is in your language.
Yeah.
So, does anybody else have any points? Because I have 2 things at least I wanted to bring up. But I'll let other people go first because I kind of took over that last little bit.
Okay, I have something to say. Like when it's going to the epilogue and like showing like all the different scenes of like the different characters doing stuff, like, and then it shows Shadow and that he's gonna like. I feel so bad. He's
Shadow.
Like everybody's doing like nice things and like happy things, and then Shadow goes like.
Shadow gets cucked again.
Yeah, he has tulips, and he's gonna like go ask his manager out or something, and then she just shows up with a different guy at work, and he just drops the flowers and
Poor
like
That guy would definitely not protect her from bees.
No.
Here's
such a nice guy.
Here's my bet. Here's my bet for the second season. It turns out that nice guy is actually her brother or like cousin or something.
That doesn't mean Fire King's wrong.
Touche.
This is anime.
Touche.
And technically too, like it's not uncommon for a family to like do a casual kiss.
Mm-hmm.
Then again, I don't remember the scene. I don't remember that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it'd have been funny if it was like, oh, that's like my brother. We haven't seen each other in a long time, and we just do like the casual European kiss thing.
I do like the fact
Man,
that,
nobody's
Shadow
gonna get
said-
this, but it would be really funny to say Shadow protects her from the bees.
I do
Because
really
that's
like
what that's
when-
called. It's called a bees.
Mm-hmm. I like when Shadow's like he's skateboarding around and he's bawling his eyes out, but he's still fucking rocking the horns. Love
he's-
that.
Yeah.
He still
I
has
love
the
that.
rock
I
out.
love. I love when Adam decides to when they're having the little party for Longa winning the tournament. Adam
Oh, yeah.
crashes it by hopping in via helicopter and just ruining the whole thing.
Hilarious.
Well,
Like,
Yeah,
like,
it does.
wouldn't
look like
that
it
blow his
changed.
cover?
Not necessarily.
No.
Anyone can have a private helicopter license in country in a lot of countries.
And,
Hell,
and
that's
all
like-
The question is, can he have that in Japan?
Who knows?
Yeah.
Apparently. Why did
Yeah,
he need
also-
it? Can't he just teleport into the air?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it did show that he did change, that he does like personally change, because he instead of just like ignoring it and just not doing anything, he actually did show up at the party, whether he crashed it or not.
The second season's confirmed, right? It is happening.
They announced that
It's
there
under
was space.
production.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but other than that, there hasn't been any update for like.
I
They announced it last year.
Could
and they haven't made any
actually
announcement.
see Adam joining the group.
Oh,
I could
Not
I
as
could
like
see that.
not as like a constant presence, but I could see him being a frenemy to everyone in season 2
Yeah.
I could see
against
him
like
being-
I don't know
gotta
the
look-
government.
I could see
Yeah.
him being the Frieza of the group.
Sure,
or
Vegeta.
or like the lightning guy from Fairy Tail.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's
That's
why
fair.
that's why I was saying like the next season they have to go somewhere more grand. Like there's a grand tournament in the U.S. and he's involved. And the best way to set it
Yeah,
off
they're
would be
they're
like
setting up.
he's-
It's the Alola region of Skate.
Yeah.
they set up so like Alan's challenged by this random newcomer and he immediately gets destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, and then the guy is like, "I'm Satan.
Mm-hmm.
That's only 2% of my skill.
I'm literal Satan. We're doing skateboarding in hell now. Come with me, children."
I mean, I wouldn't put it past
But
anime.
who's Satan gonna kiss? Because everybody gotta be gay. Who's Satan gonna kiss? What boy you
Jesus?
gonna kiss?
Jesus.
If I
Oh
had
my
to,
God.
if I had to say, I remember Reggie. Reggie would probably be the target of the thing in this one.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It'd make-
Anyway,
I think we've
I
talked
think
about
that-
Skinfinity. It's 2:00.
I had two things I wanted to bring up real fast.
Do it quick.
One, it's a fun memory on our initial watch.
10 seconds.
When Adam is talking about the government the investigator lady, he calls her a mantis woman, and then Expoint literally just said, "Hey, you hear that, guys? Mantis woman." This is one of my favorite memories of the show.
Why did I say
then,
that?
yeah.
What did I mean when I said that?
I don't know.
Just-
I think it's just you thought it was
like,
funny that
hey.
you called her a mantis.
Mantis woman.
No, I think it was just like it was. I thought it was funny because you just brought it up as like I think you were just talking about the fact that he called her a mantis woman because it's a really unexpected.
It's a strange thing to say.
It's just
No,
really
Jacobian's from Canada, Scrub. You know that.
Oh right, sorry.
Yeah.
And then the other thing
There you go.
is
there you go, eh?
I guess I've been banished now. I did a bad.
Shut up! Get out of here!
Rio Takahashi's
No.
music.
No,
for the
Scrub!
show.
I really
Rio
expected her not to come back.
Rio Takahashi just did an incredible job in the music. I love the music in this
Fantastic
show so much.
soundtrack.
It took me so long. It took a long time for the music in the show to actually come out, and I was honestly the kind of person that when I wanted
Takes
to
a long
listen
time
to
for anything in this
tracks-
show to come out.
Yeah, when I was trying to listen to soundtracks from the show when I was really into it, I would just listen to the episode.
Mm-hmm.
Like during work and stuff, and so I had to try and like go around and like find rips of the soundtrack and stuff. And then it finally came out. It's on Spotify. Go listen to it. It's great.
Incredible soundtrack.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those are the only two things I wanted.
We said we were going to recommend other shows for people who liked this show.
I don't think we have the
I
time.
don't think we have time for that. No,
Yeah.
I've already talked about Blue Lock.
I think we should
Bring up
just
suggestions for
quickly
next time.
Yeah, suggestions.
Yes.
For
I got a
next
really
time.
good one.
Absolutely. I had an idea for
I have
one
mine.
that I wanted to
have mine.
propose. Let me think for a little while longer, and I will remember what it was.
I am very sad that I could not suggest Katana Gatari, because when I went back to check it, I forgot that each episode, in this 12-episode run, is 48 minutes.
I was gonna
Shame.
suggest. Well, I'm not sure. Do you want good or bad?
Good, please.
I
Anyway,
like
here's
I like
Girls' Last
Drifters.
Tour.
Girls' Last Tour!
Oh god.
I like Drifters, even though the message behind it seems
Oh.
weird.
I like Drifters.
Oh, I like Drifters. That's where the final boss is Jesus, right?
Yes.
Well, it was speculated that was Jesus. It was never confirmed, was it?
They said they wanted to do more seasons. The creator did, but I don't think that's ever gonna happen.
Oh.
Or at least it doesn't feel like it's ever gonna happen. But yes, it basically they do kind of confirm it at the end. The final boss is gonna be Jesus.
Oh my god.
I
Okay,
wanna put up Bakano because I've been wanting. Bakano's been
Yeah.
on my list for a really long time.
Yeah.
Are we
Bakano
having
was
a theme for
already
May,
proposed.
is being asked.
I don't think we're gonna have a theme for May.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna put up mine as Violet Evergarden.
Another good one. Well, that leaves me being the last one. I had an idea. It was
have a theme of like melancholic stories.
It was Land of the Lustrous.
Melancholic stories. Let's go.
How is mine Drifters Melancholy?
If you want to
It's
change
not.
your pick,
No.
I'm keeping it.
I like Girls' Last. I've heard a lot of good things about Girls' Last Tour. I'm a little worried about watching it because I feel like it's gonna fuck with my brain a little existentially a bit.
absolutely. It's one of those shows that says maybe suicide isn't bad.
Yeah, and that's
It's-
concerning to me.
It's one of those shows where it's just like, yeah, life sucks, but like,
But that's
people are
okay.
it's going to people are just going to keep doing things even if they continuously. It's like almost like a depressing, hopeful message, and
Yep.
I love it.
It's very good. I'm
Already it
considering
sounds
making a
better
video
than-
about it.
It already sounds better than Drifters message.
I didn't think Drifters really had a message.
No, I was
thought it
at
just
one
more of a
point
fun
going to
show.
make a video comparing Girls' Last Tour and Promised Neverland, because there's that scene in Promised Neverland where Isabella is talking with Emma, and she's like, wouldn't you rather have 12 years of paradise here than, like, 50 years of hell?
Mm-hmm.
And Girls' Last Tour basically says, yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's not a responsible video to make.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a little dangerous.
Yeah.
The message I was talking about with Drifters is it kind of idolizes a bunch of villains and then makes all the heroes the bad guys. And then for some reason has Hitler being the creator of a big city.
Yeah.
Very
I
odd.
mean, that same city engages in slavery and beatings, though. So
Right, I forgot about that part.
Alright. That
Yeah.
seems like the end of it.
all
Yes.
right.
Thank you, everyone in our YouTube chat, for joining us for this discussion. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did. I'm a big fan of Skinfinity.
Yeah, go watch
I am
Infinity
too.
after this.
Mm-hmm.
Go.
If you haven't seen it, go watch it.
Thank you very much for
on.
joining us. I will put up a poll to vote on the next Anime Club discussion shortly. We will know what the anime will be on May 1st when I have a doctor's appointment, so I might post it, like, later. If you would like to get in on this discussion next time, you can go to patreon.com/explanationpoint to find out how. If not, feel free to just come hang out in the chat.
Explanation point. Explanation point.
That's me. I'm Explanation Point.
Explanation point.
Thank you all of my Discord people for joining me for this one. It was very fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye,
Gooby,
guys.
Bye.
Gooby, we'll miss you.